man go crazy. Legendary.
Perfect. What is up, party people? All right, let me go ahead and turn some stuff off so I can see what's off. All right, perfect. All right, so like I said, just open panel, open stream. I had a nice long 4-hour meeting, and then I got off early, so I'm here now. Have a conversation, see what's going on. See what's up in the chat. I don't think that's yet. What up, Sean? What up, the Plain Lies? What up, Hannah? What's up, Spira and Viscus, whatever that is. What up, Montreal? What up, Toady? And I think that is it for now. All right. So, like I said, we're going to do open tap. I'm going to open up the panel on Discord. As the title says, there's a fun announcement that I'm going to definitely be doing. All right, so, and I'm going to, you guys are going to hear this probably 3 or 4 times this stream. But, so February 8th is UFC 247. Most of you guys were there for Jose's free viewing of the pay-per-view that he had on there. There were some what I would consider issues with how we were able to watch it. Not any part of Jose, it's not his fault. But they're buffering, finding a new stream, language barrier situations. But what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I already pre-ordered it. I got a server already set up for it where I give roles. Now here's where it gets fun. It's free. Anyone can pretty much let me know if you want to be there. But it will be donation based. If you want to help me do it, and just donate $1, whatever you want to help donate. I'll have everything set up for that. And then, but here's the kicker. The ones that do donate will get a talking role. The rest will just be able to watch without talking in a group. It's, if you just want to watch it, it's free. So enjoy that way. If you want to talk in it, you will have to donate. You can donate and not talk. Only thing the donation part would help would be, continuing doing it. Again, like I've said, I definitely enjoyed what was going down. It was just the buffering and the different, having to pick different streams and stuff. It frustrates me. I like to watch the fight. So, I decided I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's going to be on the February 8th. I'm going to give some more details. That is this weekend. And if you're interested in that, just let me know. And I'll get you more details ASAP. Otherwise, it'll be like Wednesday, Thursday, that like most of the information I have on exactly what's going to go down is going to work. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to record everything, but I'm not going to, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the YouTube thing. The YouTube thing that's kind of risky. But yeah, the fights will be out there, and it's going to be over on Discord in a special server that I've built completely for this. I think only one other person knows about it. I think Sean has been there. Sean was helping me out a little bit. But other than that, yeah, that's it. On that information, I'll talk about a little bit later on once more people get here. But yeah, like I said, open topic. Yes, I did go and hang out with Travis. No, I haven't got any footage back from him yet. But I know he's still out there, and I know his setup, so it's not going to be like the easiest thing. So that's still going to be on hold on the topic at least. But I mean, we could talk about the meetup. We could talk about what went down, what was talked about, and all that good stuff. Or any other topic there is. Let me go ahead and head over to Discord. Just make it possible for everyone. Again, if you want to join the conversation, go ahead and hit this link. I'm going to go ahead and get the bot to send the link out there. You guys can join and I'll verify you. That way you guys can do a talking role. All are welcome. Any topic is welcome. What was the other thing? There was another thing I wanted to talk about, but I completely spaced out earlier and forgot. So, with that being said, I'm going to open it up. Do this. There we go. What is up, guys? Hello.
Not much. Waiting on the MC Tune versus the Plain Truth debate.
Wait. Oh, that's not going to be fun. You know how that's going to turn out. But yeah, each their own. How you doing, Crash?
Tired.
You sound tired.
I'm tired.
Splitting wood all day. It went from 55 degrees down to 29.
Yeah, we buy wood at the store. What's up, Tony?
What's wood?
What'd you say?
What's wood? Look, I'm going to change to the other one. This is going to be this horrible problem where it keeps cutting out when I use this horrible Discord thing. Hang on. I'll be back.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know Travis, right? Yeah, Travis is. I didn't know he was debating MC2. I don't know what they're going to debate about. I do know Travis thinks he found another blacks. Here's the best part. I went and met up with Travis. We didn't talk about it. I didn't even know. I don't even know what this whole black swan controversy is. Is that the bird thing we've been talking about?
No, a black swan is if you find. So I tell you, all the swans are white, but you find one that disproves everything I said. That's what they're saying about that oil rig picture.
Okay.
Travis thinks he found another one that completely debunks everything we know about the globe.
Hey,
perfect.
Mic check.
Perfect. We got you.
You got me?
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay. I was going to say a load of things. That's why I thought I'd dial in on the proper one. Because a lot's been happening and I've not been around for a little bit. So I had 3 or 4 topics.
Okay, so I can explain Travis's black swan.
I don't even know which one he's talking about because he's saying
it doesn't matter.
He's got some
does not matter. Okay. Meeting up with Travis helped one thing and one thing only. I'm not sure if you heard me yesterday or the day before. Was that yesterday? Day before yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, you were very sympathetic towards the terrorist, and you loved him like a brother, and you now understand exactly where everything is coming from.
Yeah, because that black swan shit is the ether band. It is Travis's gripe. Okay, so he'll show you 3 different images, right? Or his description of it is I see 3 different things on 3 different days. Explain it, and we'll say refraction, we'll say miraging, we'll say sinking, we'll say all these other things, right? But we back them all on curvature. Well, what Travis sees when he's looking at these things isn't what we're looking at in his images. Travis is explaining his observation there versus us seeing a picture, a video that he's taken. And you know how Travis records. Travis could be talking about something the camera's not even looking at. Yep. So what ends up happening is you guys go, why isn't Travis showing that footage? Because at any given moment, Travis is talking about something that we're not focused on, or of the 5 hours of recording Travis does, he finds the parts of the day where something happened. He doesn't review the whole thing. He finds parts that he remembers.
I think that's part of the trouble, right, with him accruing far too much footage. And it is easy to do, right? If you go out there, you can burn a lot of footage of. And then you never even get the time to spot the bits, do you sort of mean, that were interesting? Mm-hmm. Which is, by the way, why it'd be much better if he sort of took some measurements of temperature, recorded the day, recorded exactly where he was, and took, I don't know, even a series of stills. Yeah.
See,
and then
let's
say we had 20 days of Travis taking stills each day, same place, same time, recording the temperature of the same object. That would tell us infinitely more than this jumble we get. And I like Travis, as everyone knows, this observation, this ether band did this, and this thing did that, and he's got some amazing observations there, by the way. Can't diminish them. But they're just...
And here's the thing. Here's what it is. Travis doesn't want to. When I say that,
no, I think you're right. I've spoken to him about
but
it.
Here's what it is. He has it set in his brain. The only way to get the information everyone keeps asking him for is a team.
He
is very adamant about the fact that if you guys want temperatures at the rigs, if you want temperatures here, we want to investigate this miraging, we need another location at the same time. He is convinced you need at least 3 people to bring about the data we're all asking for.
He's probably right because he. No, but he is incapable of doing it. Right? He's absolutely right.
He's capable of doing it.
Yeah, but he's not minded to do it. He's not minded.
Exactly.
Right. There's two different things here. I realized a while ago that Travis doesn't want to, because I think once that's done, he's a pretty truthful guy. He'll probably realize, well, look, actually, these are only unusual circumstances, and most of the time I see X, Y, or Z.
I don't even think it's
so
that.
I don't think he wants to dig into his own disbelief around it.
I don't think he thinks he can do all we ask for him to do. I think it's not
a lot.
I think he's where he's at because he hasn't done it. Whereas he also thinks it's a big feat to get all that done as well.
So look, I'll tell you how to do it.
So put it this way, you're right. If he did it all, he would probably end up realizing what he's seeing are anomalies every once in a while, and that it is a curve. But in his brain, it would take a team of people to do what you guys need him to do.
So I'll make it really simple.
I would like him to do one thing, because remember yesterday we were talking about the focus on his P900s.
Mm-hmm.
So after downloading the entire manual and reading it, he is using autofocus on that, which is terrible. It flat out tells you in the manual not to use autofocus over water contrast to get an image. I'd like him to actually learn how to use his camera.
Well, I can tell you this. I know zero about cameras. And from what I saw, I can see why people buy that camera. It seems easy, but again,
so I have that camera. For the details, but the autofocus is absolute garbage. By the way,
well, that's the thing. For someone like myself who doesn't understand the detail of things like that in a camera, it is a great camera. I mean, those things. First of all, they look bulletproof. Impressive as fuck. I've never seen a P900. That was the first time I actually.
Haven't you? They're great. They're lovely. They got that lovely screen in the back.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
and it's amazing.
So check this out. Like I said, I've never seen a P900 in person. I used to have a camera, and I used to take fun pictures out in the wilderness and stuff, but I never did any of these types of things with it. But I don't have it anymore. So I get to Travis, and he's got one setup, and I think it's Sandra 2. When he names these things, he really feels like these things are real. It's funny. And then he had a friend of his, a loaner. Then he pulled out the one that he had, I guess, recently broke about a year ago or something like that. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's why he got water in the thing. He dropped it in the.
Yeah. So he showed me that one, and I was thinking in my brain, he has 3 P900s. I want one, damn it. But here's the thing.
They're really good cameras for someone who doesn't really know a lot about photography for getting super zoomed in images, and they are a lot of fun because you can just get a lot closer than you can normally, right? With and I've got an SLR normal camera, and I got a P900, and the P900 is fun, a lot of fun for doing that kind of stuff.
Now, you saw my sunset photos, right?
Yeah. Hang on. So here was the next part that I realized out there. So, by the way,
I've still got a comment to make, so don't go on too long, and then I'll forget it. I'll write it down. Hang on, I'll write it down. I'm going to write it down.
No, actually, go ahead, Tony, because it's...
it was about the Travis thing. It's actually simple for him to get the information we want. Here's the protocol. He just turns up, he writes down, he's got a notepad, you write down the date, the time, and the place. You look up then the temperature, and you can do that online, from a reputable meteorology office, and you note those details down. You then note the location you're at. You then take the photos, or a sequence of photos, and you note the time you took the photos. That's it. And you just do that every time. It's as simple as that.
Well, the best part about it is the day I went up there, I can tell you when I got there, it was 66 degrees. About an hour later, it was 65. And then when I left, it was 63 degrees because I paid attention to that stuff. It is very easy to do. The only issue would be that he did bring up that I actually do agree with in this whole effort to get the data. Especially with his setup, I don't see him being able to dig super deep into the temperature at the platforms. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with him.
But at the same time,
easy.
I told him.
But you can get channel data from the boys out there. So Rumpus looked it up, and you can actually get channel data.
Oh yeah,
which is probably good enough at least to get the spread.
Again, that's that extended the extended effort that would go into it. And I think to him, it's why would I do that if I can't do these other things?
So hang on, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why. Very simple answer. Even if you didn't look up that extended data, that's very easy to look up. It's only looking up a website, and Travis can do that. But let's say he didn't do that. If you only took the temperature when you were there, and when you took the photos, as long as you had enough of a data set, let's say 20, 30 days, I can guarantee you would start to notice, for example, that when the temperature was low on the beach, you got a certain effect, or if it was high on the beach, you got a certain effect. You would see a correlation if you got enough photos. And he only needs to do it, 20, 30 times. A data set of 20, 30 things, you'll notice it. I guarantee you. Guaranteed.
And the other issue that I've heard people saying to Travis is also his elevation. Here's the problem. I know his setup and why he's there, where he's at. That's his location. Like that big chunk of the coast is where he's going to be at. So the problem is I don't think there's. I think I looked on the map right before talking to Travis about it. When we were there, we were talking about it. There was maybe only one location along that whole coast that you could get above elevation 50. I mean, there's coastline and mountains along the whole thing, but they're all private roads, or there's no way to get to them on a map. So his elevation issue is.
Was this his normal place, Sean, or was this a special place?
Oh yeah. This is his normal place. This is where.
So you went to visit him in his normal place, but he's not normally in his normal place.
So this is what it is. It's a section of the coast. I'd say a 10-mile section that he does these observations from.
And is that a long way from where he lives? I mean, how long does it take him to get there? Because he was in some camper van or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, you remember, he lives on the East Coast. So he flew out here. And he's using the family vehicle to do this. The observations.
So hang on, you're telling me all the observations we normally see that Travis gives us are all done on special trips? They're not like near his home. They're like he gets a plane to go and make them.
He lives by Chesapeake.
Anything Chesapeake.
Anything Anacapa. Anything with the oil platforms are California.
Yes. Right, they're not anywhere near Chesapeake.
No,
it's the other side of the world. Other side of the United States. Yeah.
So Travis is spending a lot of effort, time, or money in getting to this location that happens to be nearer to you, I take it, because you drove up there, right?
Yeah.
To get these observations.
No. He's in the area for a specific reason, and he's able to do the observations. Right, it's not my place to say.
No, sure. I'm sure there's a family link or something.
Anyway. It's just not my place.
Yeah. But anyway, so he is there often anyway, enough that it's not like a once-a-year trip. Yeah, I'm not interested in the reasons. It's the...
No. He has a lot of different times of being there, observation of these areas. Again, any platform, oil platform, or any Anacapas are all when he's in California. I don't think he has any oil. It's going to sound stupid. I don't think.
All right, so it would take a while for him to get 20. I said like 20 observations. It would take him a while to get 20.
Yeah. I think he's been out here now. I think he would be on day. He'd have 13 days of information if he could. If he had done it.
If he had done that, okay.
If he had done it. He's been out here for 13 days.
His current upload from this morning was day 13.2.
Yeah, he's been out here for a good week and a half, 2 weeks.
It's a shame he's not recording the temp then and that, because it would make a really good data set for us to look at. It would just be brilliant.
See, I mean, I know because I know the 3 locations he's been at all the past 2 weeks because I drove it. I know what spots he had to have stopped at, including the spot I met him at. The best I could do is I can get the temperatures, how pinpoint. That's going to be rough. That's that extra data. If we're really gonna look into these observations, I will do it 100%. I just need to get the pictures from Travis. You know how he does that. He doesn't stream from his what we're seeing, so he has to upload all the images.
He has to upload it. Of course, he does.
Yeah.
So what is the Oakley doing then with this 24-hour Black Swan as well? What's going on with that?
I think I'm almost positive it's the same observation, right?
Oh, is it? Okay.
I don't watch Oakley at all. Like I don't even go there.
It's the original oil rig observation where they're all wavy and funny and shit.
And that was an observation from a year ago, I believe.
Yeah, I mean they're all making this whole black swan thing from one. I mean it's an overused term anyway. This black swan.
That is Travis's gripe. So imagine this: what we're looking at on Travis's video, Travis is looking at, but he also has obviously a much wider field of view, and he's seeing other platforms. And this happened when I was there. So the ones that he's been looking at all day today, and he did when I was the ones that he was looking at when I was there in the live stream, they were clearer. And then you look to your left where the other platforms were, far off the horizon left. There was haze. And it gave the platform the appearance that the platform was sitting on the horizon. The ones to the left of us. Whereas the ones to our right, the H's that were clear, you can, with the naked eye, see the crane. You can see the outline of the crane. You can see the gap between the platform and the ocean, the horizon where the legs are. So then he pulled out the IR camera, and we look back over at the G's, the ones that are in the haze. Now when we look at it, I see that gap. The gap where the legs
the infrared helped cut through the distortion, which it will
exactly.
do. It will absolutely do that.
Now, there was less legs than the ones that we were looking at over at H. But here's what really got me. So I watched Travis's live stream, and again, I know what his iPhone was looking at. So I know it's the platforms that were very clear to my naked eye. The way I kept expressing it to people was I could see more detail in those platforms than Travis's iPhone was giving us. So
that's not a surprise. Yeah, that's the human eye versus quite a good camera, but certainly not perfect at distance.
But then you're going against the P900 as well. So there's three different views you have there. And we're all arguing discussing three different observations. Travis is giving you the observation of what he sees because I do it. That's the first thing I want to tell you people. What I saw, not what the camera showed me. I haven't even seen what the camera shows. I saw it on his little screen, but that's not going to give it any justice yet. So the only thing I'm telling you guys is what I'm seeing with my observation. Now, if I'm showing you a P900 picture of what I'm talking about, it's going to be different. It's going to be harder to have that conversation. And I think that is
the P900 depends whether it's still or video as well, of course.
It doesn't matter. Video, because even the video is even worse. Because Travis was saying today, oh look, there's a vessel or something. I forget what kind of boat he said it was, but it was crossing the camera path, right? But we can't see what's in the camera. So I'm trying to ask Travis what type of boat it is, something so I'm on the vessel finder, and I want to know the distance now. The problem is Travis is like, I don't know. I can't see it good enough. He's not talking to us like we're seeing what we're seeing in these discussions. That's what the problem is, in my opinion. That's why.
But none of us want to go through hours and hours of video footage and random odd boats. We want a collection of data with a certain set focus on it. Yeah, rather than just go, oh, that over there is interesting. Oh, that over there is interesting. Set focus, one object, keep photographing it, get 30, 40 attempts at doing it, and you'll quickly see whether there's a curve or not, right? And whether there's a horizon or not.
I'll talk to Travis because obviously now it's different. It was the day, because all I wanted the pictures and the video from the day I went up there, because that is a day that me and Travis made the same observations. When we have a conversation, it won't matter if we're talking video. It won't matter what we remember seeing. We're going to have the same conversation because the data part is not lost. We can still do that. As long as, because I know the times and I know the date.
I don't think one observation is going to prove anything, is it though? It never has yet, has it?
No. But it will put me and Travis back on that that path of
Oh, agreed. You two will agree on
we are
on that
exactly.
yeah.
We will see what the difference is. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do have like I said, I've said this in the past. No, Branch. Sorry, dude. Nope. You're not welcome here, dude. Nope. You lost your mind, Branch. No. Not here, buddy. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. If you guys are on Discord and you're around gyms, you know what I'm talking about. So here's the problem I had. First of all, what Travis is explaining, I'm going to stop saying is even atmospheric conditions. He considers the ether band a line of questioning that he has, is what it is. He'll show you, like, remember I was saying earlier, 3 different pictures of the platforms and 3 different effects. So we'll say it's curvature. It's hiding. It's either hiding or lifting. Blah blah blah. And what Travis is saying, well, if you're telling me that's the horizon right there, then tell me why it's not the horizon here and not the horizon here, and it's the same pictures, different days or different time. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying though? It's not so much the scientific evidence that we put forth. It's the I see this that doesn't comport with what you're saying to me. And again, it's going to give you different conditions, different observations. But when I looked in when I got the opportunity to look in the viewfinder, and we looked at both. Again, one platform was H, very clear. Other platform was G. Those are the ones in the haze. When I looked, I realized real quick, you can't make an observation, again, like you were saying, off one time. Because I was there for 3.5 hours, and every hour, the G's, the ones in the haze, kind of in the haze, they were doing different things every time we looked. So I see the confusion where he's coming from. I don't question the shape. Not one person think that crap. It's more about, do we really understand the optics in which we're seeing and how we're explaining it? Because again, the only thing I see the difference in that is my observational description and my digital camera's description.
But you can't take Travis's digital camera description as well as you would think, because he doesn't really know how to use it.
But here's the best part about, again, another reason I wanted to meet up with him. When I look at those pictures, I can go, I know they're better ones. Show me this one, this one, this one. Remember when there's a difference now. Again, like I said, and Tody, I think you kind of agree because you know he does this. Travis does not pick an hour out of his film time to stop and have it stored. Travis does 5 hours at a time. And during that 5 hours on 1 to 2 different cameras, he's looking at stuff. He's seeing things. He'll use his third camera to do his own little thing and his pictures and all that stuff. So when we're having these conversations, it's what he remembers seeing versus what the camera's seeing isn't the same. The description isn't the camera's description. It's his description. Not to mention, again, he records for 5 hours at a time. He was recording when I got there, and one of the cameras was rolling through me being there. Same with, and then the pictures are scattered. Yes,
just
exactly
to deal with. Yeah, you can't curate that. He hasn't got the time to curate that much footage.
Exactly, and he remembers.
Talking about Travis.
Yeah. At best, what happens is he'll remember 2 hours into recording something I remember happening. So he'll go into about 2 hours into the video and he'll pick clips of what he thought he saw. I'm gonna say maybe it's because I met him. I don't know. I don't think he's nitpicking as much as we think he is. I think he has too much to look through. I'm gonna tell you now. I record all the time. I don't listen to 80% of the stuff I record because it's just too fucking much.
But yeah, it gets worse when you're trying to do observational data because then he's got. If he had 3 cameras going, even if he only had 2 cameras going for 5 hours, it's 10 hours of footage to go through from one shot.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other
go out with a plan. That's his problem. He doesn't have a plan for anything. He just shoots.
And as I say,
he has a very much so amateur, and I'm not saying amateur in a negative way, just an amateur hobbyist photographer where he has the equipment and he wants to see what he can get. He doesn't. It's not a situation where he could. I don't think he could. I don't know if he could or not. I don't think he has or plans to make a planned observation of platforms. None of he does his plan that way. He just goes and shoots.
You wouldn't need to change a lot, Sean. As I said, he just needs to turn up there and note a few things down, and just also note that little bit of footage. By the way, all those few still shots, even a little, let's say 30 seconds of video, 10 still shots. Put that separately on his camera. He could still do all the 5 hours of footage and everything. Yeah, doesn't matter. But I think that consistency of those shots, if he had 10 stills, 30 seconds of video, and he had, let's say, 10 or 20 examples of that, that would be incredibly interesting. All on the same oil platform.
Yeah. And again,
that would be meaningful. Actually, that would genuinely be meaningful. We could, make some assumptions from that.
I've done small ones. Jose's done some pretty good, decent sized presentations, but Soundly, George, like when they've done their long distance observations like that, what people don't realize, and this goes into a lot of the information we put out and talk about with science and everything, is that what it takes to do it isn't known very much. So what ends up happening is that it becomes a very overwhelming thing. Just in myself, if I do it, when I do a small little edit, you've done editing, you do a small little edit, you may do 10 hours of searching for stuff for a 3-minute part in a half-hour upload. It can get intensive. It can get really, really mind-numbing. Travis, I have ADD, so I can tell you right now, Travis has ADD like a motherfucker. It's very difficult for me to sit at my computer and get a edit anywhere near done in any given time. He has the same issue. I can see how difficult that would be to him. Collecting data. Well, if I didn't have multiple screens that I work with, I couldn't do half the stuff I did because I have to be multitasking.
One of the things I was going to say was over those 5 hours, the lighting is going to change. The temperature is going to change. There's so many variables that change throughout that time period. So if he's using two separate images, from 2 hours apart or something, then you can't really compare those two just with all the variables and say this should look like this or this should look like that.
Well, see, it's I think what we've asked. So excuse me. So when we asked for all that data, it sounds like a lot. I wish I'd thought about it then, because it's very simple. His setup when he's out there, I don't know about Chesapeake, but when he's out here, his setup is very set up for data collecting. You saw his setup. He literally, like I said, when I said he had ADD, I was serious. I have it. I can tell. He bounces between all 3 cameras, 2 cameras, whatever else he's doing. He doesn't sit at all. Travis isn't a sitter. He likes to be moving. But if he had like,
you could have shown him, Sean, how to collect it. It's a shame you didn't take it. But honestly, my friend, you could have just gone.
You need 3 cameras though. Why does he need 3 cameras?
One's okay. So I know exactly what happened. So he had one P900. He dropped it on the beach and messed it up. Bought another one. Got another. I don't know. Has a second P900. I think he fixed the broken P900 enough to work.
He did.
Yeah, okay.
Gladys or whatever she's called. I can't remember her name.
Sandra one.
Sandra, that's Sandra. You fixed Sandra definitely, because
Yes.
I advised him to put it in a big thing of
Yes,
You know,
he told me
that
about that.
glycerin stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked pretty
Yeah.
well. It dried it
Oh,
out. He left it there for
yeah.
like a month or something.
Yep. He told me about that. Yeah. Sonder True is the one that he bought. The third one that he had was a loaner from a friend, because that P900 had the infrared setup on it.
Oh, they'd removed the lens so you could do infrared on it. Okay.
Apparently, again, I don't know enough about it, but I know I was looking through infrared.
Yeah. There's a modification you can make to the P900 where you could remove the. There's a little bit that covers the lens, so you can turn it into an infrared one,
That's
which is
the IR filter.
that's it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't investigate the cameras enough. Like I said, I just saw the cameras. They look beefy. They look like some cameras you could drop a few times.
Yeah, they're pretty robust.
As far as I was concerned, again, I never seen one in person, so.
Well, they're not bad cameras. They're the Coolpix line, so they're designed for people to take family pictures and get banged around, and they're cameras.
That's what I mean. They're pretty robust. They're pretty cheap, and they zoom, fantastically. Like I've taken some of the best pictures I've ever taken with them, even though they've got a very small, whatever it's called, the sensor in it. Yeah. But yeah,
on them are quite good.
That's it. The optics are pretty good.
Formula, yeah.
Well, but so, could I go out and go buy a camera? Like I could change the lens on for half the price of a P900?
No,
you couldn't. That's the point. That's why you buy a P900, because I researched it, and you can't do that. That's absolutely what you can't do. Yeah. There's no cheap way really of doing it. You know.
You could get a Black Magic Pocket, and then get an EF camera lens adapter for it, and you can do equivalent zooms to the P900 for about $1,800.
Damn.
The trouble with
how much is a P900?
So the trouble with people saying
right now, though,
I think mine cost me about $400. Yeah, I got mine for about $400. Yeah, $400 I got mine for.
How much were they?
That was new, by the way. That was new. That was on eBay. Yeah, I'll tell you the thing though about you can also get these telescopes and then fit other cameras onto sort of telescopes. It's just not easy to then use all of those setups. Yeah, so there are ways of getting sort of theoretically better zooms and things, but it's clunky.
In that sense, the P900 is a good camera. It's just
for what you
need to know what you're doing with it. Okay, put it this way: if I bought a P900 and every situational, and I sat down with, hey guys, I need to know the ins and outs of this. I need to know what I should and shouldn't be using, and I listened. I could have some excellent images and videos. Correct?
Oh yeah. If you took a P900 and you went to manual focus and settings and shot out over the water, you could get pictures 1,000 times better than Travis.
Or of just in general. Well, see, that's the thing. Again, maybe he doesn't have that. Has anyone sat down with him and explained that P900 with him?
I tried to.
Yeah, I mean, for doing flat Earth sleuthing work, the P900 is perfectly sufficient for it. I mean, you don't need to get a bigger sensor, I'd say.
No,
if you do want to get much better image resolution, well, yeah, you'd have to upgrade to something that's $1,500 plus when you include the lens costs and all that. But
buy a P1000.
Like Travis's purposes, it's fine.
Hey, so this is gonna sound kind of bad. What kind of images would you get out of a telescope with a phone adapter on it?
You could get similar images to the ones I posted if you set it up right.
So, but is that I don't want to say is that a technique, but that's basically a camera with a
the pictures I posted. Right? The pictures I posted are from a drone, an itty bitty drone that fits in the palm of your hand that has a 8mm lens on it and the same sensor as the P900.
You're talking like the mini,
It's a DJI Spark, so it's got a gimbal.
Okay.
So it's
yeah.
But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the actual lens on the camera is itty bitty. It's like the size of my pinky.
Yeah,
but instead of using the autofocus and everything on it, those shots are taken. and playing around with exposure times on it. But it's only a 12 megapixel camera, so it's actually a worse camera than the P900. But I took better pictures than Travis does because I know how to set it up.
That's the thing. Okay, so I don't remember exact details, but I used to have a Nikon D35.
It's not a bad camera.
And I thought I took great pictures with it. I mean, I sucked. I had no clue how the settings worked. So if you look through my gallery, you'll see like 20 of the same images, but that look different because I went through every setting trying to take pictures. I just don't have a good enough an eye to go, that was the one I want, and I was way too stupid to go, I took that, and that is this setting.
That's how you learn it. But if you go into the P900 or the P1000 owner's manuals, they tell you not to use autofocus over water because there's not enough contrast.
So, okay. So with the autofocus, what it's constantly doing is trying to focus on the glare. Basically.
No. It basically looks at contrast edges and tries to focus on the differences between.
So if you don't have enough, if you don't have enough contrast,
so when you have a whole bunch of fog over the water and it's making the horizon look like a blurry mess, it's not going to focus on it. There's not enough contrast.
Exactly. It's looking for extreme. It's looking for the maximum contrast in the image and trying to make that as sharp as it can. But over water, you don't really have.
So really, I mean, with any camera, if you're going to make observations over the water, you simply look at your lens, you look at the infinity symbol, and you just set the focus to that, put it on manual. I mean, that's pretty universal for anyone trying to do flat Earth stuff like.
Or to start with what he's doing, I'd zoom in as far as I could on the oil rigs and get them as focused as I could, and then zoom back up.
Unless the P900 has focus breathing, and I really don't know if it does or not.
I don't think it does. Not going through the manual, which I downloaded just to get information for Travis before he blocked me.
Yeah. The manual won't really tell you if you have focus breathing or not. I mean, it's just a product of some lenses. As you move the zoom, it moves the focus out.
Not sure if it does.
Just do some tests and see if the P900 does it or not.
So when the fuck is autofocus worth a shit? When you're taking a picture of your family?
Yeah, so like if you've got,
it works pretty well because
edges. If you've got like trees in the background or something that has a defined edge on it, the autofocus will work.
Yeah, that being, it works fine if you're doing like when I do pictures of birds, right? P900 is really good for birds and wildlife. You can zoom in really closely. I'm going to upload it. I'll show you guys a picture in a sec. Yeah, a really good one I took of a dog. It's got a very fast speed on it, you know, and you can zoom right in. It's fine for that.
Is it good?
It's not very good for these. Yeah, I'll show. As I say, I'll just try to get through on my computer, and I'll show you a really good picture, and you'll be able to see exactly what it can do. You'll be, I think, suitably impressed.
Yeah, because my son plays sports, and I do like jiu-jitsu, and so
you can have a perfect excuse for buying one then, Sean.
Exactly. Oh, that's another aspect. I think the 22nd of February. I think I'm competing in a jiu-jitsu tournament. I was thinking about doing that one live. Doing a live on the matches, but I'm not sure yet.
Can you see the image I just uploaded, Sean? That's autofocus on my camera.
You gotta put it on a better screen. That looks good. I'm gonna share it on YouTube. And a good image. I mean, really that blue?
And then the one I just uploaded is manual settings on my camera, and you can see the edges of the houses are much cleaner and nicer and all that shit that you don't see in the first image.
That's the same image, or just after?
No, they're taking a 100 facing east.
No, I see the
balance was off.
a little bit, but I was
No, but I see
that
what
was
he's
like
saying,
the
though.
third day I had that camera.
No. I see. You're not talking about the exact. It's not exact image. You're just talking about the focal rate, the focus rate on them. Focus looks.
Yeah. So the first image I uploaded, the one that's kind of not as bright, that's autofocus, and you can see the edges on the houses and the roofs aren't real defined.
Yeah. It's
If
like
you
it's
look at
at
the
the
second
dog.
image,
Have a look at the dog photo. Yeah, look at the water on the dog's back. Seen that one?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it focused. Okay, so it
Yeah.
grabs.
Can you see what I mean? Look at that.
All.
That water is unbelievable. We can almost see the sort of steam coming off that dog, can't you? And then there's another one of the surfing and stuff, yeah, which, I'd never get that close. Do you sort of mean normally to get a picture of someone surfing like that? Yeah. So, and these aren't the originals. These are the ones that have been condensed.
We know what Tony does with his camera now.
Dogs and women and surf.
He's got a wetsuit fetish.
Actually, those pictures have been crushed up by the. I just realised by putting them on the iPhone. I should find the originals are even better. So imagine the originals. I'll find the originals sometime, and you could see them because the dog one looks like the second dog one looks like it's out of focus, which it isn't in the real one. So that's just because I put it on the iPhone.
Now I have a question because this is odd to me. Another thing I didn't think to ask Travis when I was there. Why doesn't he stream on his P900s?
Because it's not easy to stream. You have to add another piece of software to stream from the P900, and then you need to link it to a hotspot. It's not trivial to do.
Okay.
I think the P1000 has got it built in, but on the P900 you need another piece of software.
Is it? But 2020, I'm pretty sure you can get it for free, can't you?
You could probably find it, but it's quite complicated to set up because I had a go at doing it, and Jose had a go, and as I say, it's not trivial. Yeah, it's not trivial.
Okay, but it does take you got to take some steps. But it's not okay.
Yeah, and you can plug it into a computer, right, and then get photos from the computer, but then you can't access the P900, so it would be a right pain doing it like that.
Yeah. But that's not what I'm talking more.
I mean, it's just more likely that
he could if he has his laptop there, he can't patch. Yeah. He can't use his laptop's network.
So as I say, you can patch it in to use it like a spy camera or something, but you can't then access all the software features that are on the P900.
Okay, so we could see what it sees, but we couldn't do the P900 thing.
Well, you couldn't do the things like zooming in and that. I think it just acts like a security, like a webcam. It acts like,
Really?
Got my manual here. I'll just have a look in the manual, actually.
Yeah.
When I looked it up,
that would be a badass feature because that would be the same kind of setup like the telescopes have now, where you
that'd be great, and then you could get it all
focus. You can zoom, you could move it. You should be.
But then you'd need to have it on a tripod, and then you'd need to remote control from the computer. I don't think they got that on the P9 anyway.
I don't think you need to rotate or anything, but a focus. Okay, I see. So it may not be advanced enough to have remote focus or. It has to, man. It's gotta have fucking iPhones have fucking buttons for that shit now. Bluetooth adapter.
I'm just reading it. You can perform the following functions if you install the dedicated software wireless mode utility. So that's controlling it, but that isn't streaming it. That's just controlling it from
Because Res Rhetoric streams from his P900s, doesn't he? Or he has.
Does he? No, he uploads it. Like when I saw the rocket the other day, he'd uploaded it. He said camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Yeah, he does them as uploads.
Yeah, they're uploads.
But he's done launches there. He's done live launches.
Hey, I'll tell you a really interesting thing.
I don't know. I'm just asking because I do know it's possible to do it.
So if Travis uses the thing, it's actually got GPS built into the metadata of all the photos it takes.
It should.
Yep.
Yeah, my one has anyway, and I'm sure his will. Yeah. Just looking at the other functions.
On a second note,
but then he'd have to send us the originals, right? For us to have that metadata. I don't know how that works either.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would, yeah.
You couldn't copy it.
Yeah, the EXIF files. Yeah, it doesn't do RAW either. So the P900, for people who, use, Canons and that, you can't get RAW image, what's called RAW format from it. It just does, I think, some kind of compression. I think it's JPEG, it actually is, from memory.
I believe so. So, Sean, can you see the last image I uploaded? Can you tell me how many photos are in that one image?
Flat?
Yeah, the one right above Bearded Devil.
How many? Oh, looks like 3.
There's 12 individual photos in that image that are stitched together.
Because the cars in the road don't look like they go with the forest, but the forest doesn't look like it goes with the road, which makes everything not match.
Oh, that's
But
all.
that's just the
That's all
overlay.
filmed. That's actually how that location looks. But that's
It's
12
overlaid.
images stitched together from the same
Did
location.
you do multi-row panoramics?
Well, that's why, right? So like the sky's going to give a different. We're going to see it differently, on top of each other, than differently everything else.
Yeah, it's a 3-row panoramic, 3x4.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I see.
I've done that too. And then
That's the same.
either PTGUI or photo.
Oh, okay. So it's doing the panoramic, but taking the crops and overlaying.
Yeah,
Yeah, you end up with like you end up with the equivalent of like an 800 megapixel image when you do that. It's pretty cool.
Because it fills its gaps, its own gaps and shit like that.
Yeah, on the drone, it's really easy because I set it at 200 feet. I hit this is the photo, this is the panoramic mode I want to take, and hit go, and it automatically locks itself in and takes the images and stitches them all together. So it's CGI because it's in the drone.
Wow, does it even account for like nodal point? Can you get any kind of rig in there that'll take images so that near stuff won't suffer from parallax?
Yeah, it does it all on its own. I've got the flight modes for downloaded somewhere because it gives me all the data because it moves back forth and does everything while it's taking those images.
That's pretty cool. They're coming out with all sorts of panoramic rigs that can do the QTVR stuff and the 180 degree and 360 degree stuff now, and it's all automated. It's pretty cool. I used to have to do that like 10 years ago. You know, there was no options like that, and everybody just had to get a nodal rail on their tripod and just take a whole bunch of photos to do that, to do like virtual tours. But they have just like all-in-one rigs now. It's pretty cool. You just press the button and boom, you got all of your 360 degree images.
I can do the 360 degree tiny planet images with that drone too, where it takes like 47 photos and stitches them into a globe.
Oh, before I forget. Yeah, I got maybe another 45 minutes left. But just for everyone who's new, who just got here, for those that didn't hear it. So on February 8th, I will be showing the UFC 247 fights, John Jones versus Reyes. It's going to be free to view. Now I'm going to do a little differently. You don't have to pay, but donations are definitely welcome to keep it happening. Anyone that does do a donation will be able to do like the kind of how we did at Jose's, where we were all talking and during the fights. But it will be for free. It will be free viewing though, so you can view it for free. If you want to donate and just view it, that'd be great too. But yeah, that's what that's going to be. And again, so everyone knows, any donation for these fights would go to the fights because I want to keep doing it, and I just want to have a flawless stream in English, and we can watch all the fights and enjoy it. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll have more information on that Wednesday, Thursday, exactly how we can get all that going, and I can get you guys into the server that I made for the UFC fights. It's not. I decided just now it's not going to be on YouTube. Too many loopholes and stipulations I got to run through.
You could get a load of, for broadcasting it, you could get stung, couldn't you, quite easily on YouTube?
Well, see, the only upside to doing it would be is that I would be doing it from I have an MMA YouTube channel that I would do it from. The only way I could think of doing it would be making the stream private. But at that, I may do that for this one, because private, I don't think YouTube will catch me for that.
You just want to be careful they don't catch you and then hit your PayPal or something, you know, going, oh, look, he's actually selling. You know what I mean? Yes. You suddenly get hit for actually selling or reselling it just because you're asking for donations, So
and that's why I won't. Yeah, that's why I won't do it. That's why I won't do it here.
Because there's people around who would dox you as well, aren't there? So.
They'll pass it through.
Those kind of people. Yeah.
Because the only way to do it on YouTube, though, that I could think of is making it private, but. I mean, if I'm going to do it for this one's going to be free, 100%. No one's going to have to pay any donation to watch it. It will just help me. Is it worth it? Do I want to keep paying and doing it that way? But on YouTube, I couldn't do the donation thing and only get a link for a donation because then people just pass the links around. Whereas in how I'm going to do it with this is going to be on Discord, which means I have to give you a role for you to be able to watch it or to speak during it. Yeah, but I just wanted to get that out there so people have their ears out. If they're interested in watching the fights, that's where I'll be having it. And if you're interested in helping out with the fights, so it can keep going, because hey. That shit ain't cheap. I'll give you guys information on that when it gets closer to Thursday-ish. But no matter what, the fights are I'll be showing the fights no matter what. Let's see who's in the chat. What's up, Bob? Sam, what's up, Pete? How you doing, sir? All right. I think that's it so far. Yeah, I mean, you guys want to talk about anything else? Topics galore. Don't matter to me.
The fact that you don't really look like you're
Say again, you kind of cut out on that one.
No, it's just this wretched. I hate Discord. The fact that you don't look like your voice. Yeah, nothing like your voice. In my head, even though I knew that you were, black, you were white, and you still are. Even now, after I've seen that picture that spoiled the fiction, I'm fighting against it. You're like an honorary white guy. Because you're so well spoken. That's the thing, Sean. Yeah. Because when I saw your voice come out of the person that I saw that Travis was looking at, on the stream. Yeah, I had this real cognitive dissonance, and then it didn't sound like you. But I'm not looking at any pictures at the moment, so it sounds like you. I bet if I brought that photo up, it would change it again. But
I like that. I don't mind it at all.
You like surprising people,
yeah, very much so. So
how come you're so well spoken then, Sean? Where did that happen?
I just never lived near a ghetto. I grew up upper middle class. I don't do that shit. No. I grew up in very, 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 very white predominant.
Hey, I saw a thing the other day that surprised me of our friend Slick James Johnson on Delete the Elite now, or one of those kind of ones, or it might have been that other guy. One of those channels, in full retard mode or whatever that thing. And there was an interview with Slick, and I don't know if it's recent, but he's really rich, got all these very nice artworks surrounding him. Have you seen the clip I made?
No. I've talked to Slick though. So
I've talked to Slick lots of times, many times. Not in person, by the way. Not in person, of course.
I've talked to Slick maybe 3. Hang on. Give me some drink. Fuck. Excuse me. I've talked to Slick maybe 2 or 3 times off air, like no recording. I wasn't. I want to say too much without pissing him off.
So just tread carefully. That's all.
He is a philosopher. As the best, if I could describe that's what he is. He found a community that he can have a discussion that he wants to have, and
you mean
get the
here,
reaction.
This community?
Yeah, trust. He never said this. I'm not saying he did. That motherfucker is not a flat earther. Nope. He's not a flat earther.
Yeah, we know that.
He found a community where an argument isn't just an argument anymore. and that's what he's here for.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be here. He knows it. He doesn't care if he is or not. He just likes the conversation. He's probably I would suspect he's probably part of 100 other communities
Here we are.
where the philosophical conversation is rampant. But I didn't want to before I forget. So when I left, Travis, he texted me, good seeing you, blah, 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 blah. But the first text he texted me after I left, he texted me probably about an hour after I left. He said, to be honest, I was blown away. You're not white. Did not see that coming. That was Travis's text message to me after I had left him. Yes, that is a very, very common reaction when I go on camera, which is odd because I used to be on camera all the time. Like there was a 2.5 year stretch where I was a nonstop camera.
Sean, if you could do the honors, if you just play from 2 minutes 43 in the link I just put into the thing, you might have to stream it to all your audience as well. 2:43 till about, I think 3 minutes or something. Yeah, I think it's only 20 seconds. But you'll see what I mean. Everyone will see what I mean. It's really quite something.
Oh yeah, I'll play this. Sounds cool.
Yeah, it should be fine. Tao Saliofa will be fine with it, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I know Tao. Like.
And then we'll see Slick in his natural surroundings, which are not what I expected from all his ghetto fabulous stuff.
Just suspend your belief, your belief in your own.
Do I go to the watch page to see it?
I'll share it on Discord right now.
That's why I resonate towards flat Earth. On the flat Earth side, you
you may need to go to the watch page. Make it easy.
Watch page. All right, I'll go to the watch page and then I'll be back once you played it.
Yeah. I'll wait a couple seconds. All right, Toady should be there. I'm gonna go ahead and play it now.
So that's why I resonate towards flat Earth. On the flat Earth side, you sort of mean something. Your life has a meaning.
Yeah, you're all good. I'm there.
Okay.
You count, and there's something about that, as far as I'm concerned, that really resonates with me. So because of that, I have just made a conscious decision. It's not based on any evidence or anything, but I've decided to be flat Earth and go ahead and declare myself as flat Earth.
Yeah, he's into that whole, read a book a day art thing. Yeah, that's slick.
But it lagged a bit on me. Did you see all those beautiful artworks around him though? Did you see the furniture? Yeah. Did you see? If you look above his left shoulder, there's a little king's head poking out that's been chiseled off a 17th century cathedral somewhere in Europe, I would say. And then on the right hand side, there's a thing that looks like either a gifting bowl from a church stoop, or the bit that we just go into a church, like a Catholic church, probably. Very, very interesting surroundings that Mr. Slick James Johnson has got.
And if you also notice,
high
everything
end
is very clean.
It is all super clean.
Very clean.
Yeah, uncluttered, really clean, very high end, by the way, as well. Lots of woods. Yep, lots of natural materials, the stone stuff he's got going on. And he's got that candlestick behind him. As I say, it's, what was that interview for? Do you know what that's from? Who he was interviewing?
No, that's his live. He used to do a live stream where he did that, and that was him declaring he was a flat earther after being in the community. I think he was here for like a couple months or something like that. And it was like,
so he set that up himself.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that surprises me.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Okay.
He starts off by saying he's been here for a while, heard the globe side and the flat Earth side, and after putting it in consideration and review of the arguments, then he goes into declaring he was a flat earther. I saw that one, yeah.
So I think he's either, right, a philosopher king, right, the classic model, gangster, and read a book a day and self-educated, right, which is why he's got all that lovely taste and wealth around him. Unusual, I would say. Or who could be from middle-class background and quite like sort of toying with the gangsterism. certainly doesn't need to work. He's on here every day, and you can see from the surroundings, he's certainly not probably got a typical job at the moment. I would say those look like quite sumptuous surroundings. So, Slick is more of a mystery to me than ever, actually.
We got to remember
Very
this.
interesting.
So there's a wave of this. So, and my dad, because my dad is from the East Coast, so I see how it how it happens. So, in my opinion, this is all speculation. This is fun. Growing up, a lot of the families out there didn't grow up very rich. Didn't grow up very, they grew up on the streets, hanging out with their friends, blah 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 blah.
This is East Coast of America you're talking about.
Yes, East Coast America. Yeah.
Detroit or
no, I'm New York, New York side.
Okay. New York. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of the families, a lot of those families own blocks. They actually, in New York, that was a lot of families did. They owned different blocks, when they were building them up. Well, when family decease and other generations get older, they end up, coming into situations where they own these not boroughs, areas of blocks. The same way
by own, you literally mean own, not
yes.
enforce through.
Yeah, no. You literally so you bought your dad bought his house, and every year, and he just passed it down. He didn't ever sell it. He just passed it down. It was yours, free and clear. You may not live there, but it was yours. Well, a lot of families ended up. I think it was probably about 20 years ago. A lot of families started selling them, because they were starting to build it up again in a lot of those little boroughs, and a lot of people got wealth that way. It was a crazy turn. It was a crazy turn. My dad was telling me about it. For instance, I own parts of St. Charles Place in New York, but there's so many family members that own a piece of it that are over there. I would literally be like, if one of the properties that they owned sold for $1 million, I would probably get 1,000 out of it. Being fair, that's how many people have a piece of it, but it's in the family. It's not going anywhere. A lot of families end up like that. I could see that being a situation because he doesn't talk like his job or his profession got him to what he's doing.
No, I agree, but he's not badly spoken, right?
No,
but he does do a bit of the gangster stuff, and I agree. I can't imagine that he was a high-end lawyer or something, not like Greater Sapien, right? Like Greater Sapien, you can see where his wealth has come from. Yeah.
Oh, no, totally. Trust me. If I got in the wrong situation of anger, I could sound pretty black. I wouldn't be trying. It would just happen. But you know what I mean? It just does.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. That's what I'm asking. I'm naive, white, middle class.
Okay. Toady, have you ever gotten in a fight?
No.
As an adult?
No, yeah.
I did get mugged once. I can't say
that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. No, no.
The part of a fight where people are getting each other's face and they're like, F you and F you, you know that.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Yeah. I probably got into that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But you wouldn't say or talk. Yeah, you don't say or talk that same way as when you're just having a conversation. I guarantee it.
Of course not.
Same situation, just Slick does it when he gets frustrated and people piss him off online.
But he says things like, I've got guns, whatever.
Yeah,
he sounds pretty gangster.
That's called internet warrior.
Right.
Pretty much.
There's a guy named Cigar Face who walks around like he's the most badass dude on earth. He's a little white dude. Okay. All right. Sorry to dox you, Cigar, but you're a little white guy. I've seen you.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Sean, when Toady comes over, can we take him to a biker bar, please?
Yeah.
When I come over, I've got to see the black and the white, right? I've got to see the mud girls, as I like to think of them, my little harem of mud girls.
He's so excited.
After we do that, we'll take you shooting. It'll be a great time.
Yeah, that's it. And I, we don't get a chance to shoot. I do like shooting as well. It's, lots to look forward to. The trip's getting better and better.
But have you ever shot a TV or a fire extinguisher?
Have I ever shot at a fire extinguisher? Not with what you would call a gun, no.
Or some tannerite placed
What
on
would
the
I?
target.
What did you do it with that I wouldn't call a gun?
Well, in the UK, guns are extremely heavily regulated. So the only typical guns that anyone would use is either like an air rifle, like a BB gun, but that kind of gun, or maybe hunting rabbits with a 2.2 rifle. Yep, but they're still now very, very limited. Or using a shotgun. Yep. So anything that you might call a gun, we'd never get anywhere near it.
Oh, can we take him out with tannerite, Sean? Please let us take him out with tannerite.
I was gonna say you've never shot a 50 cal.
No, exactly.
That'll change your fucking life.
Yeah, my shoulder, I'm sure as well. Yeah.
How much?
Oh, don't worry, most of them are on springs.
Yeah. How much do you weigh, Toady?
I'm pretty heavy now. Actually, I'm trying to lose weight. I weigh 90 kilograms.
We'll get you one that's got a spring loader in the butt. That way it doesn't destroy you. Or we'll just really get you. We'll give you one bear and see how long you last.
I put it this way. I shot one and I lasted 2 shots, and for the next 3 days I cried. Not gonna fucking lie to you. My shoulder was I dislocated my shoulder.
It's easy to do, isn't it? Right.
And then I thought because I've shot shotguns and I've dislocated my shoulder before with a shotgun. So what happens is when you dislocate your shoulder, because it's happened so many times. Usually, what happens, especially after happening numerous times, it likes to just pop itself right back into place, and then it's sore as fuck. So sometimes, and this does happen to me quite a bit, like when I do jiu-jitsu, it happens quite a bit. I forget. So
that it's popped out.
I confuse the soreness for it being popped back in. Because when my shoulder pops out, I don't feel pain. I don't feel the pain at all. I know it's gonna fucking hurt when I put it back in. So sometimes if it pops back in, but it pops right back out, like it doesn't sit right, I'll think the soreness is it back in, and I'll continue rolling. So with the 50 cal, I dislocated it. It kind of went back in, I guess, and it felt sore. So I felt like, okay, just hold a little tighter.
All good.
So the second time I shot it, I felt that my shoulder was still out when I shot it. So yeah, I cried for like 3 days. It was bad. My joint.
Why is it? Is it? I mean, 50 and 33 isn't that different. Right?
It's the bear.
Much. What is it? It's just the weight, or why is the kickback so much worse?
Honestly, the kickback was so worse for me because I thought it was going to be. The same thing with a shotgun. People that hold that shotgun so fucking tight end up having shoulders. It's just there's a grip. There's a certain spot you're supposed to uphold it. I didn't with the 50 cal. 50 cal, I thought it was going to throw me back a foot, when in reality it was just a little worse than a shotgun. And I had it so tight, and my shoulder is so pussy. It blew it out. I didn't let the recoil happen. I tried to stop the recoil. You're not supposed to do that with a weapon.
That's bad.
Go with the recoil, grasshopper. Go with the recoil.
When I shot the 50 cal, thinking like shotgun, but I thought it was gonna be so much worse. I became a wall. I made my shoulder the wall, and the gun won.
No shit. What do you think it was gonna do?
But that was the thing. I had shot because of my shoulders and the way my arc has been subbed on. My shoulders are bad. When I shoot a shotgun, where you sit it in that little cup of your shoulder in your blade. It's gonna sound stupid. I sit it at an angle against my chest because of my shoulders. So the recoil. So I've learned how to not do, because
I mean,
a shotgun, like right now, if I shot a shotgun off, I'll probably get about 3 or 4 shots off before my shoulder will pop out. It may not be bad. You know what I'm talking about. Brian, you guys know
about 4 times the mass.
It'll kind of just slide a little bit out of the joint. It'll hurt.
Jody, I dropped a picture of why it's so much worse in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it. It's at least 4 times the mass, isn't it? Yeah? If you look at that, the 308, let's say, and you compare that to the 50, right? It's got to be what, 4 times as big? Probably more. Probably more.
See, the bullet. That bullet tells you more than it does. I couldn't imagine without technology shooting a 50 cal. Like I've seen my buddy has a 50 cal that there's like almost no recoil. I don't know what the fuck he did to it. I don't know what kind it is. He pulled it out, shot like twice with it, and put it away real quick. He didn't want the border patrol to see it. Again, border patrol. Where we were at, the border patrol let us shoot out there, but for some reason that gun, he did not want border patrol to see. But that gun, he shot it, and it looked like he was shooting a 22. It was odd.
You were in Canada, were you?
No, here in California.
Wrong border, Toady.
What border that? Border with where?
Oh,
Mexico.
Mexico. Oh,
Mexico. All right.
I'm within 15 minutes of the border where I'm at right now. I used to live in the mountains that were 5 minutes, and I could literally get to the border, go to the border, and take pictures within 3 minutes from where I used to live. And when I lived in the mountains.
Sean's job when Toady gets here is now to get tequila.
Oh, we can get to Mexico real quick from here.
Hey, Toady,
Bob. Yep.
If you want a nice, gentle gun, got a lot of voice to it, shall we say? A lot of oomph behind it, but won't hurt your tender European shoulders.
European shoulders. Even Bob's taking the piss out of me now. It's terrible.
But I did it nicely, though, didn't I?
You did. You did it with style, Bob, as always.
I did it with style. I've got an AR to play with.
And you knew I could take it.
Yeah, it's an AR-10, and that'll reach out and touch, and it won't hurt you.
Uh-huh. Is it called a what?
AR-10.
Called an AR.
Oh, I'm going to be Googling now. Here we go.
That's a fun one.
It's a cute little toy.
Ain't no gun like the AK.
Got one of those too. You want to try one of those?
It's like a slightly larger 22 with just a little extra kick.
It's like the AR-10 looks like an assault 22.
That AR-10 looks pretty meaty, actually. I can't say it doesn't look small, right? You know, developed by Lockheed and Fairchild, apparently. Armalite rifle, close-up flash.
The AR-10 is a 308 version AR, and it has a buffer spring shot like an AR.
Oh, is that the 7.62 version? I don't know why I thought
it was the 7.62 version. I don't know why either. I have an AR-57. You just got to change out the buffer spring and the barrel. Anyway, well, not the
favorite
10. But any of my AR-15s, I can convert to an AR-57 if I want.
I wonder if Toady could.
Kind of cool. It ejects the rounds through the. Well, it doesn't use magazines well. It ejects the round through them.
Hey, does anybody think Toady could pull back my compound?
What's your draw strength?
120 drops off to 60.
All right.
If he's 200 pounds, I don't think Toady's a wimp by it.
The problem is getting that first third of the 120 going. After that, it's gravy.
Yeah. Yep. What's that get you? Extra 5 yards?
Right around there.
That's why God invented crossbow. Something like
that. My doctor just signed off on my permit for a crossbow in December.
We don't need them here anymore, thank God.
That's a goddamn way.
So I don't have to go down. So I don't have to go acknowledge my physical weaknesses, my shoulder, to get a crossbow permit.
I did. Just got cool enough.
I can still talk shit.
I got a doctor good enough to. He just went and signed off on it. Didn't ask too many questions.
I've seen Walking Dead. Crossbows are not a good idea.
You know, I'll tell you, when I first started, I was down in South Carolina. A guy came on into the office, asked me to sign a permit to have, and I go, "What the hell do you want a neck for?" He goes, "I want a nectane. I want to tip my arrows." And I go, "You are such a piece of shit." A nectane is like Pavulon. It's like blowgun shit. you scratch the deer with it, it falls down. Oh, come on.
That's not hunting.
That's coach. That's not what. Okay, let's see. I used bollocks the other day, and everybody in the UK loved me. So I'm gonna use a quaint UK idiom right now that's appropriate. Well, that's not cricket. And no, I didn't sign for it. I figured he was going to off his wife. So.
Damn.
This is the same doctor that signed off on my window tint and a couple other things.
Cool. Will he sign off on the neck tint?
Probably not.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, here in California, you have to too. You're not allowed to have it.
It's kind of funny. My daughter had the boyfriend had Chrysler 300 tinted windows. Local cops just love to pull his 18-year-old ass over. And I got tired of it one day. So the car is going down the road and the cop pulls him over, know about the window tint, roll the window down, go, "Hi, it's me. And this guy over here is my attorney. What question do you have?" Never got pulled over.
Yeah, I don't get that lucky.
I've had way too dark a tint before. I've never been pulled over, even when I was 16. I just don't understand how that is.
It was
like intimidating kids.
It was my favorite ticket that cops used to stop the Camaro for when I lived in DC was illegal window tint.
Yeah, so check it. So when I was growing up, when I had a car, I used to get pulled over for window tint. And then once I got my truck, though, find the picture, you'll see exactly why. Like, be like, what the fuck?
Were you driving while white?
Yes.
Yes, I was.
There you go.
This is the one. I think getting a terabyte of storage space on an external drive is a good thing until you realize that you have so much storage space that you no longer will be able to find anything.
That's what God invented search.
Exactly.
Man, I had a great time today. Do you guys remember that video Riley put out a while ago? Bowling balls and that's.
Yes.
Riley. I just ran into Riley today at Plain Truth's channel.
Well, guess who I ran into today? The engineering professor that made that video. He and I spoke for about it. He and I spoke for a good half hour. And it's all recorded. QuickTime. I'm thinking that might make 2 or 3 nice little episodes. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Nice. Dr. Bob, when you get a chance.
He's not happy with Ryan. Put it that way.
So I just put my truck in the link or in the Discord. I never once got pulled over for my tinted windows, and my tinted windows were complete blacked out.
You get pulled over in about.
Not once.
Well, as long as you got a Trump sticker, truck nuts, shotgun back window, nobody bother you.
I did have truck nuts. You just can't see them on here because they got twisted up onto the bumper. It happens sometimes when you sit wrong.
Oh, God, that hurts.
Testicular torsion is not a good way to go.
It is not.
Are those fucking Rockstar rims, bro?
Yes. And I got a great deal on the rims and tires. I've long got rid of those ones, but yeah, those ones right there, they cost me I think $1,100 for the brand new rims and tires. It was great.
Yeah, Rockstars. Everybody got
my shit don't need to be the top dollar one. I just waited a year until it was out of season. Got it for dirt cheap.
So you wait.
I just wanted to get away from stock rims and tires. That's all I wanted. As long as I was happy. Put it this way, I don't even have any pictures of when my truck had stock tires. That's how much I hated stock tires.
Barney, I just checked the chat. I completely forgot you were into Zen archery. I looked at that and I was like, oh, why do you have a Japanese bow?
No, wait. That dude is into some crazy ass like quick shooting. And hey, Barney, can you shoot a quarter out of the sky?
No.
Have you tried?
No.
Then how do you know you can't?
Because he has faith in his own inadequacy?
Because I am well aware how accurate I am at 30 centimeters, 36 centimeter target to 30 meters, which is not moving. So
Wait, so are you saying that out of 1,000 times you would not be able to hit it?
A quarter?
A quarter.
After
Edge on or full face?
Shoulder.
intentionally,
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Hang on. I mean, I'm talking a quarter being flicked up into the sky.
Yeah. You want it on the face or you want it on the edge?
I just wanted. All I need to hear is a ding.
Hey, Barney,
you're
this
also
is a great
forgetting.
time.
You're also forgetting that I'm stoic, so I cannot possibly shoot a quarter at all. The only thing I can do is shoot out an arrow. Now, maybe that arrow hits a quarter, but that has nothing to do with me anymore.
Wait. But I don't get that. Wait, so you're saying that your
I
bow
get
and
that
arrow
perfectly.
isn't
That's
set
a
up
wonderful
for it?
thing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stoicism in Kyudo itself. So the whole point is you are not shooting the target, right? You are shooting the bow, and the target gets hit.
Oh.
Right?
Hey, Barney.
Shooting
I'm
the
not-
target
I'm-
should never be the cause for the shooting. It should be the consequence of the shooting.
So it's like I don't punch someone in the face; their face punches my or hits my hand.
Yes.
No, I throw my arm in the correct direction, and their face gets punched.
I like that one.
Yeah. It's perfect execution. The end result is just a matter of consequence.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and that's basically Kyudo summed up. Like you care about the technique, you care about breathing, you care about practicing regularly and going through the motions correctly, so that you gain the muscle memory that you need to shoot the bow properly. And if you stand right and have the right attitude and have the right frame of mind and you have your equipment in order and do everything right, then the target will get hit. But you're not the one hitting the target. You're the one doing everything else.
Damn, way to that's like a confidence builder kicker. it's like you can do it, but it's not you. It's not.
No, you can do everything else. You get to have pride. You get to have pride in how well kept your equipment is. You get to have pride in how well you know and understand your body and your posture and everything that you need to do. You don't get to be proud about hitting the target.
But the target gets
Just something that happens. That's just something that happens because of as a consequence of doing everything right.
Some of the techniques.
It's a consequence of imperfection.
Yep.
Some of the video that I've seen of Zen archers practicing technique and everything, they're only a few feet from their target. Like quite literally, the target's only the distance of an arrow away from where they're setting up, because they're focused on the technique and they don't want to have to go chasing the arrow.
So there are differences. We practice in front of the makiwara a lot, Makiwara is that huge bundle of straw that you shoot from at 1 meter, which is literally what you're describing, right? Which is you shoot it from 1.5 meters, so you don't have to consider the target at all, so that you get your breathing correct, your posture correct, but you also do practice at range at 30, 60, and 120 meters.
Oh, I wasn't saying that you never shoot distance. I was just saying that a lot of the technique and the things that I've seen people go over, the target is
range,
no more than a meter or two away from them.
If you're describing technique, then yes. Exactly. If you're describing aiming, Nerai, then Makiwara is completely useless. You literally cannot aim. Like even if you put a dot on it, you cannot aim at that dot because your arrow will not follow that path if you're shooting at a distant target. Right, you would have to hit somewhere way above that point to hit the target at distance.
It's magic, I say. Magic.
I saw a documentary once about making Kudo, is that what it's called? Kudo arrows?
Kudo?
Are there different standards of arrows?
So traditionally everything's made of bamboo, but for practical purposes we use modern either aluminum or carbon fiber or bamboo arrows and bows. So bows are either carbon fiber or glass fiber or wood. And
Right,
kind of owning a bamboo bow. Owning a bamboo bow is a hobby in itself. Just taking care of the bow is a hobby in itself.
Thank God you don't live in England. You'd never be able to take care of the damn thing.
There is a quite large community in England called the White Rose, the Honda School of Kudo, and they actually do go through the whole kimono archery and ceremonial archery and having the proper bamboo bows. And yes, it's hell. But England and Japan are not that different in climate. Well, Japan gets a bit hotter during the summer, but as far as wetness and dampness goes, yeah, Japan is about the worst place you can have Yumi. Like you can have.
Was it really
on the coast?
I wouldn't have even considered that. That's a good point.
Kudo bows are really cool, though. They have an interesting design. They're very short on the bottom, and they kind of flare up at the top. And, supposedly, from what I saw in that documentary, it helps with the ergonomics.
They're also asymmetric left to right. The string doesn't go center bow. It goes to the right. So you can't use them ambidextrously. A left-handed person also has to shoot them with the right hand.
Unless you are really, really tall and flip it upside down.
I feel like the shooting dynamic would be really strange that way.
I am not sure that would be possible. I'm quite tall, and the bow is still over a meter and something above.
Yeah, but you're quite tall. I said really, really tall.
Like let's assume you're Shaq out there. You think it would work?
No. The bow itself is over 2 meters. It's 230 and plus or minus, depending on height. So even if you flipped it upside down, and the handle is 1/3 of the way of the bow. So Yeah, I don't see how.
But could you hang from the ceiling?
Well, if you stood upside down, then yes. Then you could hold the ball
See?
upside.
Flat Earth proven.
Flat Earth proven. Fair enough.
I love that you entertain every question, Barney.
Me
Why
too.
not?
What's the meaning of life, Barney?
To vanquish your foes and hear the cries of their women.
Drive them before you and hear the lamentations of their women.
Exactly.
Okay. You guys got issues.
Hey, you don't have to be impolite while doing that, but that's the meaning of life.
I figure out.
So
Mr.
what should I
Bob,
do? Yes, sir.
when you get a chance, check your DMs.
I have.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I sent it to the
I'm-
wrong email. Spelled it so.
No, I got it. And, I'm going to get that taken care of as soon as I get home. I'm driving right now, but you should have that within 2 hours.
Cool. Then I'll get the small ones sent out while I'm finishing up some stuff with packaging on the big one, so UPS is happy.
Cool. Cool. Wait, are you sending 2 small ones or 1?
Yes, I have them ready to go. So as soon as I get paid, I can go run up to UPS and get them packaged up. I'll be in town tomorrow afternoon. So.
All right, I'll get it taken care of right away.
Yep. Thank you, Bob.
That's my astrolab that RC's building for me.
Yes, the small ones are very nice and easy to make. The big giant one has turned into a packaging pain in the ass.
Well, that's why it's just sell the small one. Well, actually, you're going to sell the small one. Yeah, but yeah,
It's an Astro.
I've got a guy coming to Sweden, Chicago, and he's going to be there for like 3 weeks. So I talked to the wife, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to go down to Chicago, and I'm going to go up to the Willis Towers, going to A, see if I can see the Warren Dunes. B, I'm going to measure the radius and circle of the Earth off Willis Tower with this gentleman.
That'll be cool.
And then he's going to go back and do a big ass lake in Sweden. So we're going to get it in 2 different.
What's an astrolab?
Magic.
Oh.
Wizardry. An astrolab is a disc out of brass, some metal, that's got an arm on it. You hang it from a loop by your thumb so that it's upright.
And it knows the future.
And then what you do is then it hangs upright, and then you can actually use the little arm that's on it, find the angle, sun, stars, whatever. You can tell time with it. You can tell the future with it. You can tell what time the sun's going to come up and go down. There's like 50 things you can do with it. If you were really hot shit in the late 18th century and you had one of these and knew how to use it, you could get chicks.
Yeah, they're quite cool, easy to use, really easy to make the small ones.
What's up, Slick? Yes, we were talking about your background in your live stream. Tony is very. I think Tony wants to be secretly a private investigator, and he wants to figure you out. It was interesting.
I think Toadie's never going to leave the U.S. after he gets here.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too.
Like, I went to this bar and there were women with no clothes.
Which farm animals were there?
And apparently they were firemen. A lot of poles are
right. I didn't know where they were coming from though. They kept trying to climb up it. It was weird.
Sean, we got to keep him away from my mason jars if we take him to Louisiana with us.
Oh, you gotta give him one. One whole jar.
If we give him a whole jar, Toadie's going to be running through camp naked, and we'll find him in the woods somewhere 3 days later, curled up in a corner.
As long as you find him, it'll be fine.
Exactly. And I thought about that. You go to Walmart and you get one of those GPS dog collar tracking devices, and around shot 3, you put it around his neck.
He's gonna wake up in Bayou Cane or some nonsense.
As long as we can find him. They should have done in the Hangover movies.
The mud truck has a stripper pole, so he shouldn't have to leave to see that. But if we give him an entire bottle of that, or an entire jar, he's gone.
Uh-huh.
He's either going to be really fucked up and pass out and puke all over my truck.
Yes.
Or he's going to go running naked through camp.
Or both. Usually the running naked through camp happens after you've thrown up all over yourself.
This is true.
That's
and I
how you
love
get naked.
Toadie. And I love Toadie, but I really don't want to see a naked Toadie hanging off of the stripper pole in the back of my truck.
I don't want to either, but I so do. I'd just be scared of his wife finding out and hunting us down. She would so kill us.
You should really get his hopes up first that he can outdrink a lot of people by taking him to Texas, where their beer is only 5%, just to get him hyped up, and then take him to somewhere that's got a good alcohol content.
I'm sorry, I refuse to go to that state.
Well, we could bring him
What?
down to
You could visit
Florida and
Chris
go
Berry.
out alligator hunting.
That warrant's still out, man.
No comment. No comment.
Take him down to the Everglades. Introduce Python.
Oh, we
And
can do
remember,
that too.
and if you come up here to Michigan, just remember, if you're walking around in the woods and these fuzzy little things that we call forest puppies, they have little ears on them. They're really cute. Remember, if something's cute, it can't hurt you.
It's an odd way to describe a fluffy wolf.
Aw.
I was referring to a bear. Wolves are dogs. They're just forest dogs.
A forest puppy is a deer.
Let me tell you what,
They
that's
can
a
hurt you
house
too.
That's what it
Deers
says.
kick your ass, man.
Oh, hell yeah, they will. Oh, I know.
At least
Yeah,
one hunter a
bears-
year is killed by a deer.
I Googled
Yeah,
forest
bears,
puppy, and that's
bears
what I got.
mess you too.
No, there's a bear. I see one.
Yeah.
Deer will fuck you up. That's one of the first things they teach you when you hunt whitetail down here is how to approach a deer you just dropped to make sure it's dead.
Yeah.
The best way to approach it is put another one through its head.
There you go. Yep. So I learned. Oh, don't walk up on that deer unless you're loaded again. Don't do it.
You load up, finger on the trigger, touch its eyeball. Bit wink.
Isn't that odd? You touch anything's eyeball, it will twitch if it's alive.
Yeah.
It will not
That's
play
the purpose
dead.
of having eyeballs.
A possum will not play possum if you poke him in the eye.
I poked Gracie in the eye the other day. My pit bull.
She must have
She
loved
moved her
that.
head and I accidentally poked her in the eye. And she just kind of looked, what the hell?
Me and
Well-
Nicole have a pit bull that's like that. You can poke him in the eye or shove him all over the couch and he doesn't do anything but look at you like, what? And then fall back asleep.
Yeah, I had a doe my little brother, about 3, used to lead around by the tongue. You reach in, grab its tongue, and pull it around the room.
My buddy said,
one of these days, you just look at him with that look. Like, one of these days, I'm gonna have to kill you. You know that, right?
A buddy of mine, Jameson, used to have a pit, and it was one of those godly pits. That pit was like 140 pounds. It was stupid big. And he used to play with people. It would what I called a "Are you a bitch" game. So if you walked up and the dog would wag his tail, and you touch him, the second you touch that dog, he'd growl at you. If you had the balls to continue to pet the dog, he would then start wagging his tail again and start licking you and whimper. But that first initial touch, he's going to see if you got any balls first.
That's dogs. That's why they sniff each other. That's what they're checking.
And if you backed off and didn't pet the dog, he knew. He wouldn't like attack or nothing, but he would take your chair. Like, this dog knew its place. He would take your chair. He would take your food. He didn't care. If you didn't pet him, you were his bitch.
Yeah.
The dog was like, "Oh, I got bigger balls than you. Excellent. Thank you for that."
Yep.
Thank you for allowing me to do this.
God, my cat just screwed up. Something bit him in the head. Who the hell bites a cat in the head?
What the hell? A dog?
Another cat?
Well, the tooth marks, I'm thinking it was another cat or a possum.
Yeah,
your cat. Oh, your cat goes outside.
Yeah, my cat's a Tom. Goes on outside to be a Tom. And I swear to God, come spring, my entire neighborhood is going to be full of cats, I think.
All I know is I owned one cat in my life. It was my son's request. It was the cutest little cat. She was so cute. Had little socks.
I got to run, guys. I got to make a quick phone call. But
have a good one.
Yeah.
The little kitten used to have little socks on. It was so cute. And then she grew up a little bit, and then the bitch started crying and spraying. You know what I did? I sold that
sold
cat.
Her to the Chinese restaurant.
I sold that cat to a nice little lady while my son was sleeping. I told her the cat ran away. I didn't feel bad. Why? Because I had listened to that cat cry 7 different times. And I was either going to do something personally to it, or that cat had to leave. Someone had to leave. That was, and the worst part is like, you know, you would stomp your foot to like get the cat's attention. That started it. Like, when we noticed that, so if the cat wasn't doing anything, we just let her be, because if you startled her, it would start that. Like, you'd walk around a corner and she'd get startled and she'd get in heat. It was weird. I hate that cat. That's a cat that made me hate all cats.
Sean, I know what I was going to ask you about your meetup with Travis. Did he try to get you to unban Aaron?
Nope. We didn't even talk about Aaron. Aaron was a nobody. We talked about basically every single person except for him. And that's the God honest truth.
Oh, is he mad about me trolling him right now?
Nope. I don't think he cares. I really don't. I can tell you right now, he has a lot of respect for Toady and Barney. He has a tremendous amount of respect for them.
I can fully believe that.
He does. He has. We had it. So when he went live, I had been there for probably about 45 minutes. Anything we talked about the coast in the first 20 minutes, we probably said to each other twice already. But we knew we realized halfway through the introduction and conversation that we should probably be live doing it.
Toadie's back.
Yeah, so we
I
started.
expect he has.
I'm not gonna lie.
What
We
did I
did
miss, guys?
the introduction, and the first 10 minutes of conversation. We had done that already. that was on repeat. That was a repeat of that. Yeah.
The first 10 minutes. What?
When I went and met up with Travis.
Talking about your pole dancing abilities.
Yeah, that too. When I went and met up with Travis, we
Oh,
met up.
didn't we talk about that already?
Yeah, but he asked me something. He said something about when I first got there and recording. I had been there for 45 minutes before he started his live stream. It like the introduction and the first like what are we looking at thing. We had done that already, and we were just joking around. And I was saying that.
So it was a fake meetup. You just did it for the camera. Then this is the first time we've ever met.
Yeah. So we did when you saw it on the live stream, we had met 45 minutes before that.
So the bromance had already happened.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Yep,
It did. I did. It
On
was
the
like
cigarette smoking stage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Toadie, we do have another important question though. Do you know what pole dancing is?
I do. Yes. Yep. This has come into I'm a real aficionado of the old vertical dance.
But do you know the difference between a bubble dance and a feather dancer?
No, feather dancer I do, but a bubble dancer I've never heard of one of them. They sound very exotic, Bob.
Okay, never mind.
It's a bubble dancer. Then I got to look one up.
Bubble girl or a bubble dance.
Toadie's gonna disappear, be on the internet searching for the next 30 minutes.
Maybe 35.
No,
listen, Toadie doesn't have that sort of stamina.
Did I
about me.
No, Sean was. We were discussing whether or not you would end up trying to dance on the stripper pole in the back of my truck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to coming to the US, meet friends,
You have a stripper
see nice
pole
places.
in the back of your truck?
Toadie, I
In
like
my
you.
mud
So,
truck? Yes.
so
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to tell you
Stripper
the
pole in the back of
truth.
the mud.
It wasn't only that the stripper pole was a gimme. We knew you would do that. The question is if we gave you a jar of moonshine, if you would throw up in his truck or run through camp naked and even possibly disappear for a few days. But I came up with a great idea. We would go to a Walmart prior, and around your third shot, we would get one of those GPS dog collars and put it around your neck. So that way, if you got too drunk, not the shockers,
track me down.
Yeah, not the shocking ones, the GPS.
That's what I was going to say. The shocking ones.
Sean, I have a suggestion too. How about we strap a GoPro to him as well, so we have video evidence when he comes back.
That's my suggestion. Get a toady. Just put your name and address on the back of it. Your name and phone number. You need a toady cam.
Oh, that would be so awesome. A toady cam. We need two of them. You know, one's in his glasses, because you need to see what Toadie's looking at. And then just one that just is the peripheral of his body, so he sees everything. So you see where he's looking at and where he's running.
So the next series on the Sean G channel will be Toady Goes Wild.
Toady,
I do sense a video out of this.
A series.
It's good. I'd watch it.
The beginning of the series, it's going to be called Finding Toady. It's gonna be weird because
Toady?
The beginning of the series, Toady will be there. But then you'll catch on as the party starts. He disappears for an hour, and then he disappears for 2 hours. Then he disappears for a week. It's Finding Toady.
Look, if we're down in the Everglades and he gets lost for an hour, you may want to almost give up because, a lot of people that go down there, they don't come back.
No. Yeah, I know where you're talking. No, we're going to take him to Trucks Gone Wild in Louisiana. It's fenced in, so he can't get real far away from us, maybe a couple miles.
It's just like to be hunting Toady.
Hey, Tony, in the immortal words,
Tony Preserve.
You know, in the immortal words of Dave, if you go to Miami, don't worry, we're not shooting at you.
Oh yeah, I heard someone. I think Sean said it earlier. The whole wrestling alligators. No, nope.
Well, let me tell you how you're going to know you're out of trouble, Tony. If you end up in a cabin in the woods, about 6 of us say we're going to give you a 10-minute start.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Can you hear banjo music? Can you hear banjo music?
That's not delivering.
Exactly.
As far as I'm concerned, in the United States,
that's the naked prey.
As far as I'm concerned, in the United States, and I learned this in Texas. Damn it, robot! You're a robot, man. You're so bad. Nope. Don't even. Nope. Stop. Refresh. In the United States, I've always learned, and I may sound white, yes, but if you don't know me and you see me, before you hear me, you may think I'm black. Don't fool yourself. But in other regards, I've always learned, and I was told by an old man in Texas many years ago, if there are no streetlights, turn around. I think that holds weight.
Well, just to go back to our previous conversation, word of advice: don't poke an alligator in the eye unless you know it's dead. Because those things will thrash and beat the crap out of anything and everything around it.
How about this? Stay the fuck away from them. Don't worry, because here's how dangerous it is.
I'm not going to poke them either way.
Here's a problem. Here's a problem, Toady. Here's a problem, because they're talking about it from a drunk person's perspective in wandering. At 18 years old, my grandmother lived in Florida, Port St. Lucie, if anyone knows, and she lived in one of these. Okay, so she lived in one of those retirement homes, but she also lived not retirement homes, communities. I'm sorry, and they had like a golf course. So yes, every pond was had about 2 or 3 to 4 foot alligators, alligators, very small. Trust me, if you saw them, I was 18 years old and I was like, oh, bitch slap one of them bitches. I never tried. Don't worry, but here's the thing. She also lived within a quarter mile of you're echoing, Sean. She also lived in a quarter mile from a canal. If you don't know what a canal is in Florida, I don't honestly. I know what they are. I know what they're used for. But as far as I am concerned, they're alligator breeding sites. So,
well, you're not wrong.
Okay. So you're gonna love this story then. Okay, at 18 years old, I go to see my grandmother. I'm there for 2 weeks. It's the first week I'm there by myself. I'm waiting for my cousin to come out from New York. Blah blah blah. But here's the cool part: everyone has a golf cart to get around their little community without having to use a car. For an 18-year-old, oh yeah, it's party time. So what I used to do is I used to go off-roading. I learned real quick not to.
Yeah, can I get 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers?
Sure. Give me.
Thanks, coming right up, sir.
I like a chocolate shake.
Oh God! Be a man and order. Wow.
He said a junior cheese. Oh, it's so cute.
He wanted 3 junior cheeseburgers. Yeah, just get a
junior
Whopper.
cheeseburgers. Go Baconator or go home, man.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Oh wait! Stop! Hey, robot! You're roboting. Still roboting. Brian, you actually eat at that nasty ass Burger King?
Actually, I don't eat Burger King at all.
Well, you did say the Baconator. That's Burger King.
That would be Wendy's.
Oh, okay, my bad. Wendy's is good. Never mind. Just making sure. I'm boycotting Burger Kings because they came out with that thing, that monstrosity of a burger. Is this true?
Burger,
okay, is this true? Because my girl was telling me this yesterday, that they actually are getting hit with a bunch of lawsuits for cooking the burgers on the same grill as the meat.
Well, that's been the case for ages.
And they were saying,
Sean.
vegans were getting sick and shit. Is that
That's
true?
right. That's been the case for ages. Certainly in the UK. Yeah, you're not even allowed to, because what happens is the fat drips onto the charcoal. So then all the fat comes up, and when you put the vegetarian stuff on, the fat, makes it taste like meat.
But does that make vegetarians sick? Like for real?
Yeah, it makes them upset if they're allergic. They don't like that meat taste. Yeah, they get stomach.
It makes them sick to their sensibilities.
That's it, exactly. I don't think it physically makes them sick. I don't think there's a physical reaction other than in their heads. But yeah, I'm sure they are sick.
That's lawsuit worthy still, right?
Well, think about it. We like flame grilled stuff because the fat drips onto the flames, and then that smoky, that taste that we love, right?
Tony.
We're not salivating.
I gotta go. I'm hungry.
Exactly. I could just eat one of those bad boys right now.
Won't it actually make people sick? I think it's pescatarians who physically will make sick as well.
Only if you have like an actual problem with red meat will it make you sick.
But
like if you have alcohol, then it'll make you sick.
But are you going to Burger King if you're a Presbyterian?
A Presbyterian, maybe not, but a Piscatarian. Piscatarian is someone who only eats fish.
That's what I meant.
I'm a Episcopal, and I go to Burger.
That's not what I meant, Bob. Fuck.
A pescatarian's not going to do that.
You said you had to go. You were on a phone call.
Done with it. Came back. I miss you.
You just say you'd be right back. Okay, never mind. I'll give you shit.
So who wanted the Baconator?
I figured you were at Wendy's when you said bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, what did you get, Sean? And who was it for? Because we're hungry too.
So what's the best? Some guy I met on holiday in Egypt told me the best place was called. They had a secret menu, right? And it was called. Is this something called?
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Outs, that's it, In-N-Outs. Yep. And he said you could go, and if you knew the code, you could order like a burger number 15 with special secret ranch sauce and something else.
Hey, Tony,
as long as you pulled both your trousers leg up and you wore a tie backwards.
Tony, it's not a truck stop.
It's not a truck stop.
It's not a code.
Damn,
it's just a secret menu. For instance, you can get something. There's something called my favorite animal style fries. You know what would go on a Big Mac? It's just the toppings, In-N-Out's topping on your fries. They have, what else is there? They have the carbless burger, which is basically a burger with lettuce buns.
But I don't understand the secret bit, Sean. What initiation do you need to be able to know the secret?
You need to know how to fucking Google In-N-Out secret menu. What it is In-N-Out has. So when you go to a drive-through, it has their menu. Well, In-N-Out's menu is very basic: burger, cheeseburger, hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, triple cheeseburger, something like that. Fries, shake. Well, if you go online, there is a very extensive menu of different combinations and things you can get that they all know it. It's just not on that menu you pull up to.
Right. So if you're a regular, it's like a little bit of audience participation kind of thing. Yeah, you can get, just the way you like it.
If you
can get their burger topping on the fries because you like it like that.
Yeah, if you go up to the drive-thru and say, so animal style isn't on the menu, but if I go up there and go say double cheeseburger with animal style fries, I instantly get fries with topping on it. In the store, it's not like a secret, like different. It's one menu that you just don't see unless you go online and find it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's secret to someone like me who wouldn't know about it, but everyone who knows about it knows about it.
You come to the U.S., go In-N-Out, you have no clue.
I wouldn't have a clue. I just ordered what was in the menu.
If you go to McDonald's, you can order what's called a McGangbang, and they will give you a McDouble with a McChicken patty between the two buns. Like it's just something odd that you can order.
Yeah, but
you are joking.
I don't trust.
I've got something called a McGangbang.
Oh no! I heard about this. McDonald's though, I don't trust their secret menu. I've seen it. It's weird. It's not like In-N-Outs where it's like these specialty things. It's like weird combinations you wouldn't ask for unless you wanted to see if that shit was real.
That's probably why they done it. And what's a hamburger?
What type of McDonald's are you going to with a McGangbang?
Oh, they're everywhere.
McDonald's.
Yeah, you can go anywhere. They used to have something with a McRib too, but I forget what it was.
I didn't even know that.
That's it. They still have the meat in stock.
Yeah,
but what's a hamburger?
The last time the McRib was out.
What's a hamburger? It's a cheeseburger. It's a cheeseburger without cheese.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not made out of ham. It's not a bacon-related burger.
No, it's still beef.
It's a beef patty. Okay, it's a beef patty.
It's just no cheese on it.
And how about my favorite, a bacon burger with cheese? Do you do that?
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a normal thing, is it? All right. Bacon cheeseburger. Exactly.
Wait. Is a cheeseburger?
Ordered 2 of them.
Is a cheeseburger normal with bacon? Yes.
Cheeseburger with bacon, not bacon cheeseburger. You see, you put the bacon on top of the cheese.
See, my favorite is Carl's Jr. because you can get either the 1/3 burger, the 1/3 barbecue burger, Western burger, or you can get the double Western, and that's barbecue with bacon and two meat, or a 1/3 pound patty. Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Need to go get a triple monster burger, Sean.
Where's that?
Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Yeah. I don't know if they. I don't know if ours. Is that? I haven't seen that one. Wait. I think I made it. I don't remember.
They're all the ones that look like the mushroom gravy that they use for the Swiss and mushroom burger there. Get a double of that. It's delicious.
I used to like Burger King because they used to have that bacon thing I thought you were talking about. They have one that's like a triple, and for like the first 2 burgers I ever ate there was good, and then after that, you shouldn't want to feel like you want to vomit every time you eat somewhere, and that's what Burger King does to me.
Go to Steak and Shake and order a 7x7.
We don't have Steak and Shakes in California.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you're missing out because a 7x7 is 7 patties, 7 layers of cheese, and 7 layers of bacon.
What is it called? What is it called? What's up burger? What burger? What burger? What a burger? What a burger?
Whataburger in Texas.
That shit is good. Oh, I fucking love that, bro. Oh man, I hate that place, but I love that place. That place was awesome.
Do you get good chicken like in California? Do you get good fried chicken?
Yeah, you can. Burger, KFC, Popeyes. Yeah.
Oh, right. It's all the same. Popeyes, KFC, or same as here then. Yeah, you got nothing special. You don't do Nando's or anything.
Well, we never had. It is different because we've never had like cow flu or whatever the fuck that shit was called. You don't get that shit here.
Bovine spongiformis or something.
Did you guys have to completely stop eating meat for a minute when that happened?
Yeah, man.
That is insane. That is crazy.
No. Literally, the only issue was that the material from inside the spinal column was getting mixed in with some of the processed meats, and literally all that happened was that it had to be removed.
I thought that they were feeding the cows ground up stuff from in the spinal cord, or where the brain and the spine mix, and doing so makes you crazy.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. So effectively, all that changed in the abattoir system was a vacuum system was put in to remove the spinal column material so that it could not enter in any of the food chain.
That also means they weren't cutting it up very nicely either.
But there were infected cows though, weren't there, for a while?
Well, after the cows eat it, they're infected, right?
No, not in all cases. And again, unless you actually got the spinal material from an infected animal, the risk of you getting anything was extremely low.
Yeah. It had to be infected, but that was like the what's it called? The same thing would happen to us, or the same reason why primates can't eat a primate brain or some shit like that.
You'd be more inclined to have Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
There was a thing called a prion, which was this piece, wasn't there? The prion was the piece that was causing the problem.
Yeah, it's a misfolded protein that sets off a chain reaction of other problems, and you just wind up with cell death.
Guys, I just joined them.
Oh Jesus Christ! John's here.
Is this Is this how like the Irish became so totally and utterly mental? Is that what you're talking about?
Barney, I need you to answer this question and shut John up.
Yeah, please. Barney, hurry. My favorite part about the John is that John shows himself in the YouTube chat about 20 minutes ago, but it takes him that 20 minutes to figure out how to get here each time.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
Hey, Toady, I posted a music video for you in the side chat. You should definitely watch.
I'll check it out, Crash. Thanks.
Oh, I won't be showing that on my stream.
No, you cannot show that on your stream.
No, I cannot. I've seen that video. I watched it. I know exactly what the one that is. That's a good one.
Is that the one at 2206?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's all about scientific research.
He's talking about the video ID YouTube tags it. Yes.
Yeah. I still think we need a baseline for Toady before he travels to America to meet you guys. I still think we need to do an innocence test with him.
He could do all the coke he wants to do here.
That's right.
You need to verify that he's not Channel X to start with.
Toady, if a chick comes up,
he's
to you
cool.
and
We
asks
like
her to
Toady.
lick
He's
her
cool.
Giant fingernails, don't do it.
If it is Channel X, we like this alter ego.
Yeah, I think he's a bit older than me. I think Channel X is a bit older.
Why have I suddenly got the video clip of Crocodile Dundee going into the bar in New York? Only I have a picture of Toady doing the same thing.
Truck stop style.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The second you said walk in a bar, I was like, uh-oh. I know where that's going. Somebody's like,
do we need to remind Toady not to set his drink down anywhere we go?
Yeah, because if you do, I'll spike the shit out of it.
I was just going to say, why you got to be like that? That's no fun.
No, I want to keep Toady safe too, but if you do drop your drink, I will spike the shit out. I will teach you a fucking lesson.
It's good to hear you again, Toady. You've been away for a while.
I have. What you'll notice in America, Toady, when guys walk around with beers in their hand, like especially beer bottles, you'll notice that their thumb hovers above that bottle.
Really? What's the reason for that? They don't like people spitting in their beer or something?
It keeps getting spiked.
Or putting stuff in there?
Yeah, keep someone putting something in your drink.
What? Why?
You
And
never want to
bartenders,
take any ecstasy that you didn't mean to take. That's why.
exactly. Bartenders, Toady, when they serve women drinks, they put a napkin on the top of it.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I wonder why they did that. That's the reason, is it?
Yep. So people don't walk
It
by.
all started in Mexico with the lime.
Oh, a lot of stuff started in Mexico.
I thought the lime was to keep the flies away.
It sterilized the rat piss. Is what I heard.
Also, Toady, if you go to a bar with me and it's busy as hell, yet there's a 6-foot section of the bar with nobody sitting at it, don't sit there. And if you do sit there, don't lick your fingers afterward.
I'm now mystified as to why there would be a 6-foot section of the bar.
It doesn't matter. Just write it down. Remember it.
Write it down.
Wait,
Just
don't
tell
write
me
it
there's
down.
a good reason that there's no one sitting at that section anymore.
And pull out that notebook when you're in Mexico and just think about it.
That's yeah, Toady. Just don't sit there if the bar's busy and nobody's there. Just don't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Toady needs to experience a Texas Roadhouse, a real Texas Roadhouse, where they throw the peanut shells on the floor, line dancing, the whole thing. That's what he needs.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Could you imagine Toady eating some shell peanuts and throws it on the ground? He goes, "I didn't mean to," and he starts cleaning it up. I can see Toady
That's
doing
what
that.
I picture.
Yeah.
You know, Toady, I would actually see you through your baptism of fire going over the border from Texas into Mexico, you and me, just to make sure you're going to be okay.
John,
Two of us.
I know we're gonna get fucked up.
We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
I always think about that film. What's that one with the vampires where they stop in that roadhouse in Mexico? Dusk Till Dawn, is it?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Fat pussy, thin pussy.
That's actually a
good pussy.
documentary.
Yeah, I know that. I know where that bar is.
Oh, can we buy it?
You probably don't want to.
With a huge pile of bones and skeletons behind it.
You know,
You mean
Tony,
truck
the-
skeletons?
You see, the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
The
They had
thing
trucks
is
as well.
that
Yeah.
the reality of those kind of places, it's almost scarier than a vampire movie. They're fucking wild, man.
Yeah, at least with the vampires, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Also true. Oh, also, Toady, if we take you to any of the bars I hang out with, don't trust friendly women at all. Just because she's talking to you, she's just trying to get her hand on your wallet.
And you put your wallet in your front pocket, Toady.
As opposed to which women?
Back.
These are actively trying to get it versus playing the long con with you.
Yeah, these will just sit by you. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Unless-
sweetie? Blah, 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 blah.
And for that matter, as opposed to which man as well.
You're all a bunch of jaded old bastards at times.
You can talk to.
Well-
You know you are.
Maybe a little jaded, but I wouldn't say that old.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm
young.
yeah. I'm old and jaded. I happily admit it.
I got to say, they and them. It's good to hear you. I haven't heard much from you for a while. I was just kind of making a parallel between mad cow disease and the Irish, because I don't really like anyone saying that anyone else is more mental than the Scots. I think the Irish and the Scots are. I think we've got it. I think we pip you at the post,
Well, it doesn't make any difference to me because I'm British.
Oh, you're one of those fuckers.
Yeah.
Damn, that accent got thick.
We could just take Toady down to
gotta realize that.
Key West.
Bloody pums.
Why would we take him somewhere that he's guaranteed to not really get a good idea of what the American public is like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the entire point.
Salt Lake City.
We
There are
want to
bars
show
in
them
Salt
what the
Lake City.
party
That'll be
is
pretty
like.
boring.
Take him to Austin.
Take him to Austin.
No, I was thinking Key West during Fantasy Fest.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that would be a good time. That's a good West.
All right,
You know,
but if
my-
I get
my-
lost, don't come find me.
My
Can we
my first
take
venture
Toady to
into
Bike
in-
Week?
It'd be a lot.
You know, they
my first
Bike Week in
a
Daytona?
lot of rednecks there crash.
my
I wonder
first
if they
venture
still
into. God damn it, Crash! I'm going to freak. My first venture into Mexico. It was 21 years old, and I was training in the oil business in Houston, and we had a small fleet of red Mustang convertibles. And all of us were just like all of a sudden handed thousands of pounds of traveller's checks, and yeah, well, we don't have to worry about money ever again. And so we we hired these cars, and we went down Mexico on a long weekend, and we we drove just into Mexico until it started to get dark. We had no idea where we were going.
That's not a good idea.
Well, yeah, and we got to this town. I don't remember what where it was, and we were the only kind of non-Mexican people in this place, and I started to get a really bad feeling. I thought we're sort of in danger here. This is not very good, actually.
And you were never seen again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm actually phoning you from a black hole. But so we went to this like sort of nightclub.
It's a wormhole
kind of place. Yeah. Well,
so you went to a frightening tavern, and then you decided, I know this is frightening. We'll just go to a more frightening nightclub. Doesn't sound very sensible, John.
Yes. I mean,
John, was a lot of alcohol involved in this trip?
Well, no, we were all teetotal. Obviously, we had our Bibles with us and everything.
Well, there's your problem.
That's the best line ever.
But were you wearing a white shirt and a tie?
Well, for my own funeral. Anyway, so we went to this nightclub, and I was certain, absolutely certain, that we were going to probably either get completely fucked up by some Mexicans and end up in a ditch or die. And the really fucking strange thing about that bar was that we were drinking bottles of, was it Corona or something like that, and they started off. I swear this is true. It might have been something to do with the level of alcohol that was consumed, but you started off with like big bottles of beer, and as the night wore on, the bottles got smaller and smaller. but you paid the same price for them, and I'm like, fucking. What?
I don't know about beer shrinkage, but
well,
I know back in the day what they used to do is they used to half fill beer, so like they'd pour half a beer out or whatever, fill the rest of it with water, and then the other half of another beer.
I swear that the bottles got actually smaller, and I'm like, until it was like a like a mixer that you put into like a vodka and Coke or something, and I'm like,
it was like the size of those Tabasco sauce little bottles.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, well, when in Rome, fucking. And but we were like this like little cohort of European guys, and there was a Russian guy with us who'd never been.
It's always a Russian. It's always a Russian. If someone has a drunk story, there's somehow always a Russian involved. Always.
Well, he was a lovely guy, Sergei Starikov. His name was.
Russian Boy Scout,
and we did we forced him to do all sorts of shit. Another story is what happened to him. What happened to him on Bourbon Street in?
Did you just admit I'm picking on?
Anyway, so So like we're all like in this all together in this corner in this club, and we're just like getting stared at by all the Mexicans. But like really, really, I don't know. It's just like we are fucked. And I'm kind of by this point everyone was really drunk, and I start saying to the guys like, we need to get out of here. This is going to go badly wrong. We're going to get fucked up. I mean, and they're like, fucking shove, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, oh shit. So I thought, well, yeah, fuck it. So I proceeded to get extremely drunk as well, and then I started to make inroads into talking to the locals, with a bit of Dutch courage, and I got talking to this guy who just was a little bit less scary as the rest of them, and he sort of said, "What's you are you American?" No, none of us, none of us are American. We're all. I'm Scottish. He's English, and the place erupted. No, they're not American. They're not American. And they just welcomed us with open arms and started quite literally pouring brandy down our throats and stuff. I was lucky to get away without actually having to have sex with their sisters. It was they thought that we were a bunch of Americans, and that was the whole reason behind the
John, was your
dirty
sister
looks.
attractive? That's a question that needs to be asked.
What's that?
Was the sister attractive? That needs to be asked.
She was reasonably attractive.
But she was a guy.
Well, there was quite a high bar because the place we were staying in Houston.
That bar was about mid-level.
The place we were staying in Houston the hotel next to us was a Holiday Inn, and it just so happened that when we were staying there, Continental Airlines were having a sort of staff training thing. So every 2 weeks, a whole bunch of new Continental Airlines stewardesses arrived, and it didn't really matter what happened. You just kind of, it might be good, might have gone tits up, and then a whole other bunch of stewardesses arrived. It was really quite magical. But anyway, but yeah, so instead of being found dead in the ditch a few months later, they loved us, and it was, the night kind of turned out completely and utterly the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were all going to die. and also,
that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the night
best
that
nights of my life when I thought I was going to die.
Yep, me too.
That was the night that Princess
Some of them in Mexico.
Princess Diana died. That was a really good thing actually, because my only exposure to Princess Diana in the UK dying in that car crash was we were channel hopping in the Holiday Inn when we got back, completely and utterly shit-faced, and so flick, Princess Diana has died. And then and then just onto something else. Yeah, it was a very surreal experience. And I won't lie to you, I was very, very, very. Anyway, that's it.
Those are bartenders.
Crash always sounds drunk, doesn't he? It just sounds like a little drunk voice chatter.
I think that's probably the longest I've ever spoken ever with you guys.
No, you've ranted before.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably.
But I am going to say I'm out of here because I'm tired. I got some things to do. It is my day off. I'm not going to spend my whole day talking to you freaking people. Well, I mean, most of my day has already been spent doing that, but oh well. All right. Anybody want to promote it? Oh, before we go, selfless plug. Again, this Saturday, February 8th, I'm going to be showing the fights on my MMA server that I have. It is going to be free. Donations are welcome. But do know that if you want a speaking role, you will have to have donated at least $1. That's right, a pathetic $1. At least $1 to speak during on the voice chat. But regardless, it is going to be free for all to watch, though. And it's going to be in Discord. I'll get more information out to you guys tomorrow and Thursday, but that is going to happen for sure. And if you have any questions and you see me over at Discord, I can answer them. Hit me up with a DM in Discord if you have any questions about that, or any of the emails that are in the link, whatever. But with that being said, what's up?
I have a question. Sean.
What's up?
Why didn't you garrote Travis when you had the chance?
Why did I what?
Garrote Travis when you had the chance.
I don't know what word you're saying right now.
It's a small thin wire connected.
Take a wire, string it around his neck, and tighten it until he dies.
Oh well, okay, John, that's a good question.
Well, it sounds horrible when you explain it like that, Bart.
Well, there's a couple of reasons. I'll say the most important one first. Ready? I like my freedom. Well, freedom in quotations. You Americans and again, and that is also another reason
with a more Slavic accent. You Americans and your freedom.
Yeah, but then you also said something else. You called me a pussy, which is also the reason why I don't kill him and want to end up in jail. So, I mean, there's multiple reasons besides the last one of, Travis is actually an okay kind of guy. He's pretty cool.
And you also didn't want to spend the rubles on the garrote wire.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I did have some paracord, but that's my paracord. I'm not wasting my paracord. No, seriously. You can always reuse paracord, but once you, if you burn the ends and then you use it, the ends become loose, and then it's not as good as a paracord. So you don't want to waste paracord. And so I wouldn't waste paracord on that.
Plus, it's not nice to have paracord laying around that killed somebody. I mean,
exactly.
What's the point?
You got to get rid of that. You can't just,
I have ways.
Trophy.
One length does not fit all.
Anyway, I posted a link.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you can bring.
He said, "Yeah, but."
Crash's robot fallacy.
Crash has a robot fallacy. That's not what that is.
Oh yeah. That's Crash's robot fallacy.
You guys have issues in the chat. See, this is why I was like, I love Discord because Discord you can share anything. I can share, and I can share with YouTube as well. But then I was like, I need to have a good background, so that way I don't always have to share the Discord. So it doesn't just look like a blank screen. And I see why now.
You could do a whole really good show, Sean, on the Discords if you just did a repeat, right, of just the images. Amazing what it would tell you about our conversation. I miss Slick. I didn't realise I missed Slick.
He was here for a while.
I just want to say that, you know, when I said that, I was really hoping to hear something like, "Now, John, that's not in the spirit of civilized debate. You know, that's the kind of talk that ruins civilized debate for everyone." But no.
Wait, were you saying something, John?
Is this better?
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
John, you have to realize I'm a stoic. I don't strangle people with the garrote wire. I just tighten the wire and they just die.
No, Barney, no.
Way to bring that full,
I think
full all the way around, Barney. That was well done.
What are you saying there, Barney? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it.
I do. Barney's God. He's going to be right. I don't know why you challenge it.
Well,
I mean, I also know he's right because we've already had this conversation. But I would love to hear. I would love to hear you challenge it though. Because go ahead. I mean, it's awesome. Go ahead.
No, that's not.
Barney is the false deity.
Said the robot.
See? Robot fallacy. You see that?
It'd be easier to call Barney the demigod, but Barney,
he's not.
Please,
he is God, not a demigod. He is God.
Well,
no thee,
please
no the, no we, no she, no the. God. Period.
Yeah, but how does he spell
like him? I think with a J.
Re-instruct me on how to assassinate someone, Barney.
What? Wait, what?
I'm asking Barney to re-instruct me on how to assassinate someone.
Yeah. Step one. Don't instruct online.
Yeah, well, hypothetically, I mean, if
I was just saying that
to write a novel about how, it might occur, in utter fiction, Barney.
I was just saying that as a stoic, I don't garrote people. I just tighten the wire, and people happen to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually their skin that kills them, if you think about it. Because the skin is only touching the garrote.
If you're using the garrote wire properly, you actually crush their larynx in, and they then suffocate on the bits and pieces of their larynx.
You know a little bit too much.
Now, how would you know that?
Yeah, yeah, that was really detailed, dude. That was weird. That's not like just a vague description. That was like you're doing it right now.
I'm just presenting my understanding of how a garrote wire works. I'm not saying I know it.
Your understanding. Usually,
Barney, I think you and I should go into business.
But, I don't know, dude. He knows a lot about killing people. That's not good business partner ingredients. What do you do?
This is taking a wild turn.
Oh, perfect.
This is taking a wild turn. We went from taking Toady to a bar to killing people. It's pretty far.
Well, you get far enough into that fucking jar Crash was talking about. This is what happens. We just talked to Moonshine Progression Night.
I just want to promote my new The Plain Truth channel. That posted link in YouTube.
You stupid ass. Did you really? Crash, did you really do that? You don't even hurt his feelings.
Did you not watch the video I sent you the other day? It's an awesome 57-second video.
I didn't know you did it from a new channel.
Yes, I did. It's called the plain truth. Or plain truth, not the plain truth.
Why not call it the real?
Because it wasn't available as a Gmail account, Sean.
Jeez, man.
I've got a serious question, Sean. Did you think that Travis was completely sane, or was there some kind of giveaways of?
Travis was all there, definitely all there. I just think the understanding of what he's seeing and the questions that he's asking don't collaborate with wanting to understand it better. He's in his own little world, but it's not. He's not being dishonest on purpose, I don't think.
So we're not exactly sure where there is, but he's all there.
Yes. That is very true.
So he's mentally stable enough to poke fun at.
I don't think any grown man is, but but that's just me. I can't answer that for Travis. Is suicidal? Hell no, he's not. If that's what you asked. No, I didn't get that at all. Not even a little bit. He seems to love life a lot.
Ah, cool. Watch that video real quick, Sean. It's 57 seconds of your life and you'll love it. Took me 4.5 hours to record it.
That's time you won't get back.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to sound like Travis and keep a straight face?
Do you know how hard it is to sound like a human when you talk?
Yes, I do. That's why we have Bender in the side chat.
You bend over in the side chat. What the hell did you say?
Bender Rodriguez.
Is that a racial term? I don't know what just happened here.
No, that's a Futurama character.
Ah, okay. I thought he was asking for sexual favors under fucking men's room bathroom doors or something. I wasn't sure.
We haven't got to that level of education with Toady yet.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
You know,
God,
I should just mention that when I take Toady, across the border, so to speak,
with a couple of Russians.
This will also include a Wild West style bar fight in the suburbs of Houston.
It doesn't matter who gets dropped off with Toady and where. We all need to understand, no matter what day you have Toady, you need to be responsible for your own GPS route tracking device because no one else will.
Yes, whoever has Toady is responsible for Toady.
Yes.
The most important thing is that nobody knows where we are. So there won't be any GPS.
You know, John, you brought this to the place where we're at right now, where my God has openly, vocally just expressed how to be killing people. You understand that, right? Barney was talking all nice. He was talking about nice things, flowers, unicorn farts. And then you came, and now he's talking about how to kill people. What'd you do to my Barney?
Well, I think he's Barney's. I mean, we're still, talking about the essentials.
What?
We're still just talking about the essentials.
Oh, the essentials of murder. Oh, you mean like rope, lime, shovel?
No, you're getting into disposal already.
I can do both at once.
That's a whole different subject altogether.
I could do both at once. I mean,
hang on. I just realized something. Barney claims to be going on these.
Let's not think too much into that.
Marty's like, I gotta go.
He's like, I don't have to go. You just have to stop asking certain questions.
And you notice that the person who comes from Northern Ireland's keeping his mouth shut while you're talking about murdering people.
Yeah, you shut up real quick there.
No wonder you say you're British.
I go,
hypothetically, the words to remember are hypothetically and allegedly.
I go into the middle of nowhere in
Implant them into your brain.
Middle of nowhere in the black of night as
How do you
often
get
as
there?
I can. Well, no comment.
Can we peer review my video?
No.
But
I cannot associate with you Travis haters on Travis related issues.
You can't. You don't want to blow a good thing there, Sean.
I just got it back. I need to chill. I've been talking about the observations. I've been honest. I cannot go on a Travis back. I have to separate myself from Erebus-like people. We did talk about that, though. We talked about Erebus quite a bit.
Shouldn't have called me an uneducated mechanic.
Yeah, he should. He could have. He had a whole encyclopedia of things he could have called you that would have been so much better.
I think when somebody like
you like Care
like
Bears,
Travis,
I mean, just think about that.
when somebody like Travis
Cole wants me to
behaves
get
like
that Care Bear tattooed on me. Okay.
No.
I hope you do. That'd be so.
Liar. He is a damn liar.
What would it cost him to get you to do that tattoo? and then how much would it cost to decide where it's located?
Well, I can get the tattoo done for a couple $100, but the location would probably be, I don't know. Let's call it $700. $700. I get the tattoo wherever you want it.
It has to be on your abdomen.
$700. I'll get the tattoo on my abdomen, somewhere around my other tattoos.
No, it's got to go over. It's very important.
I got to say, someone like Travis, who is who behaves like a petulant teenager when he's completely delusional, he deserves every single thing that he gets.
He's not
Sean.
delusional. That's what I realized.
Nicole has a counter offer for you.
Hey, what was that? John, what he's doing is he's making observations. Like, so imagine, John, you're observing Saturn, right? You're looking through your telescope, but you have your telescope set up to your computer. And your computer is giving, a good high-res feed or, decent at the very least. But what you're seeing isn't going to be the same thing we're seeing, and then our discussions cross. That's what Travis does. Travis is talking constantly about what he sees with his eyes, not even the camera sometimes, or of the videos he's showing maybe a 20-minute snippet of like 5 and 6 hour videos. You can't break them down enough. So he's just randomly finding spots in the day that he remembered, I think.
That's why it's bullshit.
That's not bullshit. That's what's happening. I was there. I saw how I would
actually call that legitimate science.
Actually, what is it? Yeah, I was going to say it's just he's overloaded himself with all the data.
Yeah, but that's fine.
He's keeping it very simple.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem. It's not data. It's not data. What he's doing.
The data we need. What he's doing, he doesn't want to do.
What he's doing is waving the camera around, taking loads of video footage. Yeah. He's not taking any data, any like proper data of his location, his actual height above sea level, He's not taking temperature. He's not taking
I can tell you right now,
pressure,
what you
density.
just named off. I can tell you right now, because when I went up there, it was one of his locations. I can tell you everything you just asked for that one day. Travis isn't interested in doing it, and to the scale to the scale at which he thinks would give these answers. He thinks you need a team of people to do everything.
I tackled this earlier, John. All he needs to do is get there with a notebook. He needs to jot down where, what time, the temperature around him, the object that he's taking a picture of, where he is, his height. That's it.
What time is recorded in the metadata of the image, right?
Yeah.
The type of lens, the type of camera is all known.
Well, yeah,
the metadata will cover most of everything else, and the location where he's taking it is very recreatable.
It's in the metadata as well. It's in the metadata too, Barney. The P900 records the GPS reading.
To some accuracy, but you would need to go to the site itself to actually estimate the elevation. But for me,
I know the elevation of the spot we were at, and I know that tripod is where. His tripods, those two tall ones, they sat at the same height when I was there to today, and that's at 5 feet. I can guarantee that.
For me, that's entirely comparable to what, let's say, Tycho Brahe was doing, right?
No, it's not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Barney, that's bollocks. That's bollocks.
Really, John?
Do
I have to make you agree with me?
I had this argument with Travis. I mean, months ago. He is of the belief that he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to take measurements. He doesn't have to record any data.
I agree with him.
Fuck you, Barney. If you're going to take observations, you're going to gather data.
He is gathering data.
You have to. Well, yeah, video is data.
Yes.
But if you're going to actually produce something to gather data that's going to be comparable with itself and the rest of the data, you have to record this daily.
What the flaw in what you're saying is, John? I have 1,000.
I'm going to find you, Sean. Yeah, I'm going to find you.
I have 1,000 pictures in my computer that I couldn't tell you the time, date, sometimes even where they were taken from. It doesn't make them not observations.
Well,
he might be able to tell you how high he was.
That's absolutely.
I was very. I'm going to tell you right now. Sunday afternoon, I was very high.
But you're not using them, Sean, to present evidence for the shape of the Earth, are you? As positive evidence that kills the globe. You're not saying those photos do that.
It's a different part of that.
Travis isn't doing that either.
Yes, he is.
He's
not.
He may be doing that right
and
now.
Even if he
tonight
is,
on MC Tunes, but when he's online and taking those pictures, he's not.
His last video that he posted that I've seen. Is titled "Observations That Kill the Globe," and you
want to know why?
The massive problem.
No, listen, because those were on a live stream with flat. Damn, I just spit all over my mic. With flat earthers in the chat, egging him on, and he's playing with them. Not playing with them like a joke, but like, we get into these little conversations. And we're like, yeah, blah blah blah. Like Barney killing people.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's exactly why I use the example of Tycho Brahe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Tycho Brahe's eccentric beliefs and eccentric behavior and all of the social mental issues that he had and all of that, does that invalidate the data that he actually took? No,
it doesn't. But that's not what we're talking about.
You're talking about the data you want. That's what we're talking about then.
You can't just like wave a camera around and talk about it.
Why?
And expect anyone to take you seriously.
I do. You take me seriously.
Well,
No,
hold on.
I don't have
Yeah,
to
but
take
Sean-
his conclusion seriously.
There you
Right?
go.
Well, I was also going to say that that if I think both sides are right in an aspect, okay, because he is taking data, he's doing exactly what he's doing a repeatable experiment or observation, and you could do
no,
it
he's not.
any given tone. Hold on. He's giving you the location,
Yep.
the height of the camera, and the day or the time of day or anything like that. Out of those observations, you can go out and do the same exact thing. Now, the other thing that I will say is that Travis didn't read his manual to his camera and still hasn't learned anything more than what he was doing 7 months ago with that camera. About that camera. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
No, but if he is taking this as far as I can see, he is just continually shooting across water and objects that are swimming in refraction, as you would expect. He's not taking accurate measurements of his elevation, the temperature, or anything like that. So his observations are not repeatable. They're not comparable.
That's not true.
Well, yeah, okay. So
finish your statement, then I want to counter it.
Okay.
Well, fucking fire on.
So, if you want accurate weather data, there are meteorological stations around each country, right? If you have the camera and that camera has metadata and you know where it was taken at what location, and you can go there and check because he is doing it at several locations, but it's not every day a different location, right? That most of them are repeats of locations that he's already been to. So if you check those locations, you can contact the people who are in charge of taking the daily measurements for the temperature, the humidity, the weather conditions, the particulates in the air, and get very accurate data way beyond what he could ever do as one person, right? And that is covered by the meteorological services of Canada or of the US, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Therefore, by taking the picture with a modern camera that has accurate timekeeping and puts it in the metadata, you have everything you need out of his data. He's just a guy who goes there, sits there for 5 hours a day, and takes pictures with 3 cameras of everything that catches his interest or right.
Yeah, what you've just said, Barney, is completely true. It's true. But my point is that I don't think that you've missed, but you're trying to frame it in another way. Travis has not incorporated any of this data that is possibly derivable from the metadata of the pictures.
Correct, and neither has Taco Brahe.
That's quite a large, extensive argument we could have some other time. But the thing that really, well, one of the many things that really grips my shit about Travis is that he just doesn't think that he doesn't think that I don't have to. I don't have to record anything. I don't have to take measurements.
He doesn't.
That's. I mean, fuck's sake. If
you're wait, John, do you have to?
Yes.
You do? Who has a gun to your head?
I have the gun to my own head. I mean, it's if you.
You mean you want to?
If you're
Okay,
gonna, if you're
we gone
no,
to
if you're
full circle then.
no, if you're gonna make rock solid statements about reality. I mean, Travis is saying that he thinks his observations are going to be revolutionary.
John.
He said that. Hang on.
John,
hang on.
John, I gotta ask you
No,
something.
he said
John,
he's the next
I gotta ask you something.
Copernicus.
John, I gotta ask you something.
What?
Flat
What?
Earth real?
What?
Is flat Earth real?
No.
Then what are you expecting to get from him that is so prolific?
Could you ask that question in a different way?
You're asking for him to show you flat Earth is real. You know flat Earth is not real. Why are you asking?
That's not what I'm asking.
Yes, it is. Because you're saying that.
No, it's not.
You're saying Travis needs to get more data if he's going to say his observations show it's a flat Earth. Well, guess what? I know it's not flat. So guess what? Travis's data is not going to. I don't need Travis's data to tell me that. I don't.
No, the point that I'm trying to make is that he has lots of data. If you
so does Riley.
Consider
he's not as good as he's not nowhere near as good as Riley. But yeah, it's banter. Okay, we banter too.
Nowhere near as good as Riley.
No, he's not.
Anyway.
Travis is nowhere near as good as Riley's banter. That's all it is. That's all it is. You think look where Riley's at. Riley is the best flat Earth debater they got. And we all know he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
The problem that I have, I hate this. I mean, I fucking hate it. Is people masquerading as someone who is really genuinely interested in scientific endeavor and finding out the truth.
Yeah, but not everyone's going to be.
Hate that.
But not everyone is going to have the interest or want and a level of the scientific knowledge of a situation that you do. Because I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, well,
and
if you want to find the truth, that's what you got to do.
Look, but this is what it is, John. Travis, he is not a dishonest person. I'm gonna tell you right now, Travis does not know how wrong he is. I'm telling you that right now. I met the guy. I talked to him when it wasn't a situation like we are in now. Travis does not know he is wrong. He's not dishonest. Travis is not a dishonest person. I'm telling you that.
Do you know?
Travis is not claiming that what he's doing is scientific, nor that it's science.
He's making observations
about what he's doing.
Yeah,
right?
he says it. All he's doing is making observations, and he has questions. That's all he's done. That's all he's claimed. He told me yesterday. He told me the other day. He does. Put it this way. He will tell you. He told me it's not about flat Earth. He's a flat earther, yeah. It's not about flat Earth to him. He's not. I'm telling you right now. He is not a Nathan Oakley. He is not a Chris Berry. Chris Berry, to a degree, is just here for the argument. I'm telling you now, Travis is naive by his own, what is it called? Misunderstanding. Travis is, and he's just kind of caught in the fire of what dishonest and honest is. That's all is happening right now. I'm telling you that now.
I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. That's as good of an example. That's as good of an explanation for where I think Travis stands in this whole talk about this.
Do you know the British comedian John Cleese?
Yep.
Monty Python.
Okay. Yes. I don't know that.
There's quite a delightful clip on YouTube of him saying the trouble with someone who is really stupid is that they have no idea how stupid they actually are.
Yeah. That's called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Well, Yeah, having talked to Travis many times, I'm not sure. I don't know. He's maybe you're right. I don't know. But when so the problem I have reconciling the psychology of flat earthers is when
you had a good quote from a comedian, and I like that you're part of science. I have a quote from a very respectable scientific figure that I think you would feel is respectable. Richard Feynman. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm smart enough to know that I'm dumb. Kind of makes your last statement kind of.
That's statement.
What are you suggesting by quoting it?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm fucking stupid. All right, I know that. That's why I come into these things. To sit and learn, and the things that I don't remember because short-term memory loss and everything, I can go back over.
Man, I just had a stoner moment.
One of the fucking craziest.
I guess the follow-up question would be: you're smart enough to realize you're dumb compared to what, or
everything. In comparison to everything.
I just gotta say this because it's something that's occurred to me the last couple of days. SE Montreal has started to quote Richard Feynman. Well, not quote Richard Feynman, but paraphrase quotes from Richard Feynman. And there is quite a famous quote which I wouldn't dare to quote unless I had it in front of me so I could actually just be accurate about what he says. But it's basically it doesn't matter what your name is, doesn't matter what your qualifications are. It doesn't matter if your idea appeals to common sense, etc., etc. If it comports with reality, it's correct, and if it doesn't, it's wrong.
That's my favorite one. It's John. That's my favorite one. It doesn't matter how beautiful your theory is. Doesn't matter how smart you are. Doesn't matter if it doesn't agree with experiments. It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's my favorite one.
So the problem that the severe, excruciating problem that I have with someone like SE Montreal saying that is that man, Richard Feynman, was awarded the Nobel Prize, and I think it was 1965, for finally unraveling the modern theory of quantum electrodynamics, which is basically our understanding of the interaction of light and matter, which is it's not an exaggeration to say that it's the jewel in the crown of physics. And it is really, really accurate. I mean, it's so well understood. For someone like SE Montreal to quote Richard Feynman, that man, but at the same time, just completely being against the sort of crowning sort of moment of his career is just
Here's
fucks me
here's
off.
the only issue with that situation. It's that you let it get to you. Because I'm pretty sure Richard Feynman don't care. Richard Feynman ain't gonna give a fuck. You know what I mean? I think you're letting.
I'm not a Richard Feynman fanboy. He's just a scientist.
Well, that's the thing. I am. Look, Barney. Barney. I consider
really
Barney
care.
my god. Richard Feynman. I'm a fanboy. I put these people in very high regard. It's okay.
the thing that really
the absurdity.
The thing that, just so we're absolutely clear on what my my position is, the names, the people who have contributed to our current understanding, I don't hold any of them in very high regard. I respect them, but what fucks me off, what completely and utterly, as I said before, grips my shit, is the undermining of the sort of body of knowledge and understanding that we have. That's what the whole flat Earth thing is basically anti-science, anti-mainstream, contrary.
That's why it's kind of, you got to start doing this for yourself. For instance, someone like Barney doesn't mind taking that extra path to figure out what the hell the person's talking about. But for yourself, I would say you got to realize if someone's not interested in learning, and you can usually get that vibe, create distance, man. It's not worth getting that frustrated. I don't even remember the last time I got triggered over a flat earther. You want to know what that means?
Oh no,
I mean, I let it go.
Do you think? For Christ, John, you think I'm triggered?
No, no. I don't think you're triggered at all. I'm just saying that it seems that it's not so much even a claim that Montreal has. It's just how Montreal uses science in his word. I don't know how would you explain that? I know what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to say it.
It's kind of it's really important to me because just to use a word,
I get where you're coming from. No, actually, put it this way, I get where you're coming from because again, I know you have a lot more knowledge in a lot of this stuff than I do, but imagine it coming from the place I came from. I thought it was flat, and I'm kind of in the middle of. I was looking for truth. I really wanted the answer to these questions, but I noticed I was intertwined with people who weren't interested in the truth. They were just there for the fun of the argument. And then when I realized where we live, and I left Flat Earth, you gotta realize like this. I left Flat Earth going, I was a Flat Earth guy I didn't understand. So that means that a lot of the people besides, the Pro Sanchez scammers and shit like that, the majority of Flat Earthers, they just don't understand. I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of Flat Earthers know it's not flat. And they're just there for the argument. I 100% do. It's frustrating. So imagine my frustration. I honestly feel me, Jose, and a handful of others, Barney's included, that know how to talk to Flat Earthers. Because at that point, or at least for me, I stopped. I stopped thinking it was going to be a fix. I realized that the fix only is going to happen with the person that's listening. If you're not listening and you're just arguing, you're not here for it. If I talk to Right to Hand, nothing about that interaction do I think I'm going to get through to Right to Hand. I'm either there just for the argument, or I'm there to entertain his BS. That is it. You have to realize that you got to start realizing who is who. Because once you realize that, your stress goes away because you just stop talking to him. The reason I've never once stepped foot on a Nathan Oakley panel, because I know who that is. Why would I do it? And people still do it. That's what confuses me.
Yeah, remember, I'm talking to you and Barney about this. I'm not talking to actual
No, I know.
flat earthers.
I know. I see what you're saying.
I don't. It's something that's very, very important to me, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, kind of in the context or who I might be talking to about it. I think any undermining of the only strategy that we have of getting to the truth, if that's been subverted and bastardized, I will always have a problem with that.
Do you think that they're actually successfully subverting science in some way?
Not if. Well, it depends what you mean by science, Barney. I think that it is in a way. When I among the general public, you're talking about science and the scientific method. You're simply talking about the ability to collect the fact, appraise the facts for quality, and come to some kind of reasonable conclusion about reality, right? And this kind of, not just flat Earth, but other things as well, encourages people just to be spoon-fed their opinion instead of actually employing that kind of those kind of techniques to just actually make up their own minds. And that, I mean, for me, it's not about convincing somebody one way or the other. It's making sure that people actually have the tools to make up their own minds. That's the important thing, and to encourage, the promote what the true meaning of the scientific method actually is. Which is
And I have to say that the whole flat Earth debate has done for me in that respect a lot more than a lot of the pop sci education, science promotion, and science evangelizing things that I was exposed to. Why? Because it actually got me to engage in an active way, to go out there and test it for myself. And
yeah, but that's you and me, Barney. I mean, it's when I'm, and presumably you as well, you're confronted with this kind of stuff, and what it serves to do is it kind of reminds you of the tenets of physics. You know, like hang on, is that true? It's like, if we do this and we do that. No, that definitely isn't true, because
is this a valid question? Can I see the reasoning behind it? Can I test it? Can I disprove it? Can I prove the thing that I'm certain is true? And so on and so forth.
Yeah,
right?
But so it's not. But it's not the same. It's not the same for your average person. I mean,
are you offended on behalf of somebody else, or for somebody else? What I feel.
Well, yes, I suppose yes, in a way. I mean, the main reason that I got into science communication I've said this before, but the main reason I got into science communication is it's a disaster waiting to happen almost. That the majority of people, even in the Western world, are what you would call scientifically illiterate, and by that, just to completely clarify what I mean by that, illiterate has very negative connotations. What I mean by that is what I stated before: just to collect the facts, appraise the facts for detail, for quality, and make a rational conclusion about reality in an unbiased way, kind of according to a very, very sort of basic form of the scientific method. And I think that's really, really important that people are equipped with that in order to just to make a concerted kind of effort to find out what's true, instead of being spoon-fed it from tabloid newspapers.
And like I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but like it appears to me that you're saying it as though this is some kind of a new condition for humanity that hasn't been here before. Instead, you're living in a world with the highest percentage of scientifically literate people that there ever was.
No.
Yes.
No, that's by weight of
both
numbers,
by
though,
percentage
Barney.
and definitely by number.
That's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I believe.
Yeah, but can I just make a statement here? What about the common man who has no idea that this argument's going on?
The common man predominantly has never been scientifically literate. The common man predominantly has never been literate at all.
Exactly. Yes, I understand we have a lot more scientists. We have a lot more doctors, people doing everything from pathology to virology to cosmology and astronomy and all those other bits of science. Yes, there's more and more people, but there's also the population growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's what about, you know how certain people go out and they evangelize or proselytize their belief system on unsuspecting public? That's where this becomes bad, because these people don't know that part of the science.
All right, but if I think I can see where both sides here are coming from. That I would agree with John from a point of view of it's very frustrating to communicate with Travis because he says he's after the truth, but yet when people like Barney and Big Blue sit down and go through stuff with him, he just comes up with reasons. But I don't see it as big a problem as Demonic and John do, because again, to most of the normal people, this whole argument over what shape the Earth is and everything else doesn't really matter to them. It's not part of their lives in any way.
The shape of the Earth is
not to the scientific community. It's not to. Like, it's really hard to point out anybody who is not directly involved in these conversations that this actually affects.
The shape of the Earth has nothing to do with it.
Yes, of course.
No, I'm talking about that, say someone goes out and talks to someone who has no idea about vaccinations and brings their rhetoric of anti-vaccination towards them, and they've got no answers. The other thing is evangelists who state that Jesus is the way to science, and yet science says that has nothing to do with how we do science. What's the other one? People spouting about how they know how jet fuel affects steel, yet they've never had a day in their life working with steel girders.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And I know. And I agree that it's frustrating. But there is no measure that you or I can implement beyond trying to educate people. And if you are
that's
a
my
proponent,
position.
and if you are a proponent of reason, the only way to educate people properly is by tools of reason, not by tools of persuasion or tools of indoctrination or tools of beating them over the head and calling them stupid. Right?
And that's my
So
position.
that's teaching through argument, through accepting what they say as they say it, applying the principle of charity, applying the principle of humanity, and then showing why that argument is wrong, and showing what the right argument is through argument, not through assertion.
And have you
You're
seen
such a contrary
the way,
fucker, Barney. Honestly.
Yeah, but have you seen the way some of these people react when we actually use that kindness and that gentle method?
Yes.
Have you seen the way they
Yes.
react to us?
Yes. And I am fine with that. That reflects poorly on them and does not affect me.
And I have to say, I have seen people on this side of the argument acting exactly the same way with them as well.
Exactly.
Barney, can I just remind you what I said before? I am not interested in indoctrinating anybody or preaching
I know.
to anyone. Right? Listen, what I'm interested in is equipping people with the tools to actually make up their own minds. That is what is important to me.
Yes,
and that is
I'm not
severely lacking in even in the Western population. It's depressing to me.
How is it like that's the part that I don't get. What
do you mean?
Discernment,
If you've got to, I mean, I don't want to explain it again. What is the very, very sort of basic definition of scientific illiteracy?
Illiteracy, yeah.
About most, let's just say most people, even in the Western world, are scientifically illiterate in that sense.
Yes.
That is not something that I am willing to just sit back and let be the case.
No, nor am I asking you to. I'm merely bewildered, literally bewildered. I don't understand why do you get frustrated? Why is Travis or SC Montreal an enemy to you? Because it seems to me from how you're describing them and what you're saying, what you're describing as irritating you or bothering you or that you dislike certain things about them, that's what you're saying. And that's the part that I don't get. Everything else we're pretty much in agreement.
Well, I mean, you must surely appreciate that someone like Travis or someone like SC Montreal or Sleeping Warrior, they're quite literally my nemesis.
Nope.
They
not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
But they simultaneously say that they want to find the truth, and at the same time they subvert any effort to actually find what the truth is.
All right, so can I interrupt here and ask the question? With the exception of Sean, Jose, how many people have you come across who are willing to come into these panels and have the conversation? How many of them do you actually think you're going to be able to change your mind, as opposed to the silent minority who's listening in the chat, who may have genuine questions because they don't understand how the system works. Who do you think?
None.
Right, so then my question is why not just use the people who are willing to come onto these panels, and instead of getting frustrated, explain it for the silent minority who may be listening, who are never going to say anything or never going to ask any questions.
In my personal view is that it is important. You're never going to change the minds of these people, but it's important to sort of wage a war against them, and show them up for what they are, so that the people listening.
Put it this way. John, put it this way, John. John, and I'm pretty sure.
I just want to address something. They and them's proposal. For me, that is the violation of the first principle of ethical behavior. Humans, for a humanist, humans are never the means. Humans
Sorry, Barney. What was that? What was that last sentence I missed?
Humans are never a means. Humans are an end in themselves. If you are saying, I am going to engage with this person as a means to communicate with people who are not talking, and I do not care about talking to this person, I do not care whether I persuade them, I do not care to present their arguments, I care to use them as a tool to inform other people, that for me is the violation of the first principle of ethics.
All right, well then I explained it badly then. I am a good example, I think, of what I'm talking about is where Blue Marble Science went on to speak to Travis. He engaged with Travis, he remained calm, he took the arguments that Travis was making and explained them to the audience as a whole. Not just Travis, but to the audience as a whole.
And so, yeah, fair enough. I think I've said my piece. Sorry for interrupting you when you were going to say something.
Barney, I would appreciate it if you.
No, hang on, John, because John, you were saying it's like almost like you feel like you have this need for it to be like a war, and here's the problem.
No.
They and them. No. Well, hang on. They and them is right, and Barney is right, because it goes like this. I'm learning a lot, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there that don't chat, don't enter the voice chat, and have questions, and a lot of those questions are asked on a daily basis. That's why I don't really mind repeating stuff, because there's always new people listening, I think. Frustration level I get, but the idea that talking to somebody for no reason, that's pointless all on its own. But you do have to acknowledge there are people out there that don't interact but have questions. I don't agree with what Barney just said when it comes to the listening factor of it. I think the listening factor is the biggest component of these panels and these streams, because let's keep it real. We're all the same people on this panel talking about different topics. It's not us. I mean, most of us have had this conversation even with each other multiple times. It's the people that have never heard these questions, have never heard these answers, never heard this conversation, that it actually matters for. And those people usually are non-existent. Or non-existent to us.
Just to clarify something, there is the statement is not ignore the people in the audience, or people in the audience are irrelevant, or you're not allowed to explain things for the benefit of the people in the audience, right? Mm-hmm. Those people are ends in themselves, and those people deserve the knowledge, the consideration, the education, the help, the understanding that you can offer. The issue is when you use the person you're talking to as the means to do that. When you say, I don't care what you have to say, I'm not talking to you, I'm using you as a tool to educate others.
So giving
you are a tool without giving them consideration.
Yeah. So like me. So
That's the
it'd be
big
like,
problem that I
it'd be
have
like
with
me.
what you're saying.
But it'd be like me talking to Travis and me not caring what Travis is saying, but using the argument that we could have to platform what I have to say.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but that's,
I get it.
That's fine. That would be somewhat immoral. That's not what I was talking about. I mean, I fully intend to, if I have a debate or conversation or heated argument or whatever with someone with opposing views to me, it's not. I don't have that in mind. I don't have that in mind that I don't care what they're talking about. I'm having a proper conversation with them, and in the hope, in the back of my mind, that that somebody's who's on the fence is going to be sort of educated by it. I think you're portraying my point of view in a way it's really not something that I recognise, Barney.
Okay, I was misled by your usage of the words nemesis and war and them being antithetical to everything you stand for. Those aren't whereas yes, if you cooperate with them, yes, you actually can use what they say as a point of reasonable discussion, and then trust that the reason will prevail. That if something is logical, you can show it by logic, not by assertion, not by insulting, not by saying, "Oh, you would understand this if only you had the knowledge or experience in this area." If you have the knowledge and experience in that area, explain it, demonstrate it. If you don't, then why are you bringing it up? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know what's fucking really annoying about you, Barney?
That you always end up agreeing with me.
Well, is that pretty much we're on exactly the same page, and sometimes it takes fucking forever just to get to that point of realization.
I know, but that's
you like it, don't you? You like
yes,
being contrary.
It's not being contrary. It's being clear.
It is. You're just a difficult cunt.
I am. I take pride in being one.
Yes, I know you do.
Stop being logical.
Yeah, but it's something. It's something that obviously, I mean, when I would listen to this, I feel really strongly about it. It's not about flat Earth. Doesn't matter fuck what shape somebody thinks the Earth is. It's the thing that really sort of puts me into action, if you like, is just this anti-science, anti-mainstream. Not just for instance, say tomorrow, the Earth was proven without any doubt that it was flat, and we lived on a flat plane. These fuckers, pardon my French, that put forward all this nonsense, they would start a globe Earth conspiracy. Do we?
Okay.
It's going against the mainstream. Just
yes, and that's a good thing.
Well, it is to a point, and in the right context.
I don't know. Maybe I just have lower expectations from humans than you do, but yes, there have always been uneducated people. There have always been stupid people, and beyond merely that, there have always been people who are merely wrong. Smart, educated people who are wrong. Right? You cannot be angry because somebody disagrees with you. You cannot be angry because somebody is wrong, and you cannot be angry because somebody is uneducated and therefore disagrees with you. The only thing that you can do is take the opportunity of, hey, that's a great opportunity to brush up on what the real deductive arguments are, what the observable truths are, what is the difference between a concept, a fact, the truth, an object, reality. Know your ontology, know your epistemology, and be able to argue about it. If you're just gonna, like, I don't mind if somebody dislikes science or thinks that science is all corrupt and misleading people away from God. That's within the purview of human behavior that I expect of people. That's what I meant by maybe I think less of people than you do. There will always be people like that, and there will always be dishonest people who will try to literally make money and gain benefit from other people's stupidity. Those are not new things. For me, I'm really exhilarated that I live in the world which is more educated than it ever was, which is more literate than it ever was, which can communicate faster than it ever could, and kind of show all these things that are being kind of misplaced. The philosophy of, like, literally the wisdom of thinking, of reasoning, of logic, of understanding, of working unworkable things out for yourself to see what the world is like. And finding sometimes that you're wrong. I find sometimes that I'm wrong.
Really?
And I find sometimes that I have to think about things differently.
I was bathing in the glorious warming light of disagreeing with you for a short time, and I will cherish that moment.
They'll find another one.
I'm sure I will. I'm sure. But I mean, it turns out that fundamentally that we're in alignment. Again, I don't really have very much to disagree with you about, other than perhaps I amongst my ranting, I didn't make myself very clear, or what have you.
Here's the thing that I would want to drive home from my perspective. For me, in what I'm trying to do, people like Travis and like I don't know, SE Montreal and Slick, people who are disagreeing but are willing to talk about it, right? Who are willing to follow a chain of conversation with me about it, are my allies in this thing that I'm trying to do. As dishonest or as misleading or as problematic as that might be, because those issues, the issues of dishonesty, confusion, ignorance, uneducation, misunderstanding, those can all be resolved by reason.
I would disagree, Barney.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. There's a quite a nice saying that I heard recently, was that you will struggle to reason somebody out of something they didn't reason themselves into in the first place. And I think that's very, very true. SE Montreal, and I mean, Christ, any number of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how fine your argument is. It doesn't matter how well you explain the fact. It doesn't matter. You're dealing with somebody like that. Their core belief is more important than anything else. And that's kind of what I mean by
and the same
nemesis.
is true of me and of you.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not true. That's not true. If
you have no core beliefs,
no, listen. If something that I kind of held dear and was certain and it was true, in science, was proved wrong tomorrow, it would be a breakthrough. It would be amazing, and and you and I would say, well, shit,
yes,
that's and that would be it. That would overturn our previous belief. That's what we would do, you and I. But that's what I mean by nemesis. I mean, it's too much for me to sort of comprehend when time after time after time after time, somebody like SE Montreal or whoever you care to mention, this stuff is thoroughly, endlessly, excruciatingly explained, and it doesn't make any difference.
John, consider for a moment, like, yes, you are talking, but you are talking within the scientific view, within the exploration of that